All right, all right, all right.
What's up, K Boogie?
What's going on, Foxy? How's everything, brother?
We good. We good.
Yeah. Are we good though? Are we good, bro? Hopefully we be good. You know the
You know,
sky's
the sky.
sky's falling. I don't know what's going on. We got meteors coming down. We got statues falling right now. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Crazy times being a Cowboy fan, boy. Crazy times, man. That's all I can say right now.
Yeah, yes, it is. It definitely is.
Crazy. It's crazy, man. The Green Bay game was something else. I tell you, something else. It seemed like every time we lose a game, fan base is going at each other. I don't understand why. We're not going to win every game. So I just don't understand. This is the craziest thing. It's just crazy to me. It's,
I
it's,
mean,
it's,
I think the biggest problem is that we're 6-3, and if we were 6-3 in first place in the division, it would nothing be said. But because we're 6-3 and we're in third place in the division, then that's why people are panicking.
man, please. I don't think it's no need to panic. I mean, like I stated before, this is the third actually quarter of the NFL season. There's no need to panic. I mean, we just have to stay the course. I picked the Cowboys, to go 13-4. So I mean, hey, we ahead of schedule right now. We ahead of pace. So we just have to understand that hey, certain things happen. Some certain things happen. What's up, Alicia? What's going on? Absolutely, it's crazy right now. Every time we lose a game, it seems like hey, everybody's like panicking. Just relax. Just relax for a minute. We're not gonna win every game. We lost to Green Bay. I understand. I understand. We were up by 14 points. There's a lot of, blaming the whole team. The whole team. Everybody's at fault here. Everybody. There's nobody who's not at fault. We lose as a team. We win as a team. That's it. It's not on one person. Not on one coach. It's on coaches. It's on the players. And our fan base has to understand that. Everybody's picking and choosing, fighting this. I'm like, stop, relax. We lose as a team. We win as a team, and that's it. Do we like the way we lost? No, no. Do we like the way the referees are calling games when we're playing, especially against teams like Green Bay? No, I don't. But it is what it is. So, hey, we have to take every loss with a grain of salt. We have to take every win with a grain of salt. You can't get too high and you can't get too low. It's the NFL season. It is what it is. And so we have to just be on the same page as a fan base as well. Stop trying to throw people under the bus when we lose. That's the thing that I don't like. Everybody's just people just picking narratives because of the media. And yeah, this person's at fault. And yeah, we need to go and crash his house. We need to do this. I'm like, relax. Stop letting the media trick y'all anyway. We lost, we lost.
I
We
think
lost.
for me, it's amazing how the media, like you said, the media from one week to the next. One week, oh my God, the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders, and then the minute that we lose a game, then all of a sudden the sky's falling.
Well, hold on, Fox. You can't see Nick. Do you see Nicky? What up, Nick?
And
Yo,
what's up?
futuristic. What we doing right here? We going to the club after the show? What we doing right now, boo?
I got my shades on for these haters.
What we doing right now? Oh, I left my shades in the car. Damn, I was gonna put them on tonight, but I said, nah, I'm not. But Nikki got hers on. Oh, looking like a stylist right now. But what you doing? What's good? What's good?
Mm. What's up? What's up, everybody? How everybody doing?
Ah, shit. Hey, listen. I'm just trying to like keep the haters. I'm ducking. I'm dodging,
Yeah.
weaving. I'm just trying to, avoid the haters right now. I'm just avoiding the haters. That's all you can do. That's all you can do right now. Just keep it moving. It's one game for crying out loud. A-Rod has our number. It is what it is. Just like I said before, like the Astros have my Yankees number. Sometimes it is what it is. Just keep it moving. Just keep it moving, improve on certain areas, and that's it. Think about it. We all know we have deficiencies versus the run, and I know why too. It's, when you in a dime or a nickel situation, these teams are coming out here with these heavy packages. It's happening around the NFL now. That's the new trend. These
Sean, you
offensive
ain't getting on tonight. You ain't showing your face tonight.
Nah, he's in between. He's in
Oh,
between
okay, okay.
areas right now, so he's gonna come on later. He had to do something real quick, but that's why. I mean, if we go on nickel or dime, these offensive coordinators they see that and they're going out here with these heavy packages. That's why we couldn't get off the field in the fourth quarter. That's why we didn't have 14 plays in the fourth quarter. We only had 14 plays. We couldn't get off the field. So I mean, these coaches are getting really smart now. That's why a lot of teams are running the ball more and throwing less. That's why scoring is down in the NFL.
Right, right.
Wow.
Let's answer Casey. He said with this team, it's not that we lose, but it's how we lose. I agree. It's not that we lose. You're right, exactly right. It's how we lose. Um, but unfortunately, that's gonna come with the territory of coaching and play calling at some point. Some point you need your coaches to be in your play calling to be to fit what you're wanting your team to do and what you know your team can do and how your team can do it.
Listen, I see a lot of comments about interceptions and Cooper Rush. We was winning by 14 points. So all those interceptions that happened in the first half or whatever, let it go. It's done. It's done. We was up by 14 points. 14 points. With the defense that we have, we should have been able
We
to
should have closed that game out.
Exactly. We should have been able to hold the lead. Forget about the interceptions right now. That and basically is the CD or Schultz. They wasn't on the same page. But they fixed that issue. They
In the
corrected it
second half. That's
in the
right.
second half. It was the defense. Quinn should have went to a zone, 4th and 7. You know that basically, listen, the Eagles run a bunch of formations. Chicago Bears ran a bunch of formations. And now the Packers did the same exact thing. And what happened? We was man to man. People got to understand that Christian Watson is 6'5", 225 pounds, and runs a 40 and 4.3. And you playing him man to man without any help over the top. What's up,
Exactly
Natalie?
what I said. Hey, Miss Natalie. Hey, Sandra, I seen your comment as well. Let me see. Cool. Yeah, but they saying the same thing you said with Cooper Rush. His interceptions cost us the
Not the
win.
first half. Not the first half. You got to throw that out.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this Cooper
That,
Rush.
that didn't work. That's not true.
That ain't work. That's the first half, and we overcame that anyway. We overcame the basically miscommunications or whatever. So it's not that. It's the defensive, basically adjustments that Quinn did not make.
He
We
didn't
couldn't
make good.
get off
That's
the
right.
field. We
That's
couldn't get
right.
off the field in the fourth quarter. We had 14 plays. Again, we have 14 plays already. So how is this Moore's fault or Dak's fault? We just couldn't get off the field on defensively. When it's 4th and 7, right?
And they get a touchdown on a 4th and 7.
Exactly
That's
on a
ridiculous.
deep
That's
slant.
ridiculous.
On a deep,
That's defensive scheme. Period.
yeah. Hooker did not play well, and neither did Bland the second half of that game.
Nope.
They both had their bad games. I'd rather for them to have a bad game against Green Bay than anybody else, but they picked the right time to have a bad game. Now learn from it and move on from it.
Right.
Because Hooker was a step or two slow the whole game. The whole game on the first touchdown that basically when AB got burned, dude, y'all got like 8 guys in the box. It's just actually Watson and AB slide over to the left. You the last line of defense back there at free safety. Slide over. You always supposed to, when you a free safety, you the last line of defense back there. You make sure nobody gets burnt deep. And Hooker was a step too slow. And that 9 route, he was gone. I said, damn, AB just got burnt. And right after that, he had a concussion.
Right.
That was kind of funny to me. I said, wow, he got a concussion? Did his head hit the ground, or he just felt bad that he got burnt, or he just has no confidence right now? Think about that. His confidence has been shady like that for the last 4 or 5 games. We've been saying AB is a target.
Well, he shouldn't have been. He should. If that's the case, if he was embarrassed because he got a step behind him or he got burned, he should be used to that. So there ain't no need for him to be ashamed about it now. Shit, you been getting burned all the time, the whole time you been here. So ain't no reason to be ashamed about it now. Let's talk. Let's get Sonja's comment. Cowboy fans hate Dak.
They always
So
hit.
yeah. I won't say all Cowboy fans,
Half of them.
and half of them do. And I do think um and I have to even say some of the ones that, that's very, very critical of Dak. I think you know, I think some of them just want to see him succeed. Some of them want to see him be consistent. Some of them wants to see him just somehow just take a game over at some point. I understand that, you're being led by your offense coordinator, and ultimately they're telling you the plays and what plays to run. But you're on the field. You can see the field better than anybody, because you're there, you're right there. You could see if you're reading defense and you can understand and you're reading what the defense doing, you should be able to come up to that line and say, okay, yeah, this what y'all called, but this is what I'm gonna call because this is what I'm seeing from the defense. And I think ultimately that's what a lot of fans want to see Dak start doing. He's in his seventh season, but sixth year because of course he had the injury, so he was off a year basically. Um, but and I'm kind of in. I'm on that level too. I just want to see him succeed. I want to see him do better. I want to see him take games over. Sometimes, you see some of these other quarterbacks out here. They do take over the game. They like, okay, yeah, you might have called this, but this is not what I'm seeing on the field. So I'm gonna change this when I get to the line.
Well,
But
can I have a rebuttal to that though, Nikki?
yeah, of course,
So didn't fans complain last year when the report came out that Dak was audible and out of, you know, at least half the plays or more. I can't remember the exact percentage. It wasn't for fans complaining about that he should just stick to the script and run the plays that the OC is calling.
Damn, he took the words right out of my mouth. You know what though? Our fans are fickle at times anyway. They're fickle.
right.
I think they're just waiting for Dak to make a mistake.
Yep.
You don't see any issues or anything when we're winning, but when soon as Dak makes a mistake, that's when the haters come out. So that's why a lot of times I don't pay attention to him anymore because this is what they want. And then
Right.
you have the media, you have Stephen A. Smith and everybody
Right.
else. Oh, is that the problem? How is the problem? We about 14. That's not his fault. That's not his fault that we lost the game. It's a team effort. The team
Team effort.
Quinn did not make any adjustments. This is not on Dak Prescott. He did not make any adjustments. You down one cornerback. You have a rookie cornerback in the game. Your free safety right now is taking bad angles, and he's been slow all game. I see that. I see that. I'm standing up with this nice TV in front of me. I'm like, yo, what is he doing right now? Why the safety is not sliding over a little bit? You see the coverage. Why he's not sliding over? 9-route touchdown, deep slant touchdown. I'm like, yo, Christian Watson is getting his confidence right now, and he's taking over the game. So all this Dak bashing and whatever, I'm like, whatever, man. I just let them go ahead and talk nonsense because of his market rate, actually value of a contract. So what? Josh Allen right now. What is Josh
Right.
doing? What is
Right.
Josh Allen doing right now? Before
Throwing interceptions at
I,
when he should be winning the game, and the game throwing an interception
exactly.
in the end zone. Josh Allen actually has 6 interceptions on the season so far, and at least 4 of his interceptions came when he should have basically won the game or
Yeah.
put the other team away. Um, you know, put Lisa's comment back up for me, Sean. She said, I didn't even see what she said. I can't remember. I seen part of it. But anyway, yeah, for me, I don't have a problem with anyone critiquing Dak. I don't have a problem with anyone saying that, or having saying things they might want to say about that. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they say. He's still going to be on the field as long as he's healthy. It doesn't matter what they say, until Jerry and Steven says he's not playing anymore. Until Jerry Steven says he's not going to be here anymore. It doesn't matter what fans think or say. Everybody have the right to their opinion, and everybody can have that opinion. And for me, it's not so much of the critiquing of that; it's the issue of, you know, i- that they blame one player for a team loss. They blame one player for a team effort. And even games that Dak has stepped up, played well, did games, you don't never you still don't get that game that Dak played a good game. You don't get, oh yeah, man, Dak came through in the clutch. You don't get that. You get, yeah, if it wasn't for the defense did this, the defense, thanks to our defense. When in actuality, you gotta have all parts of your team have to play in order for any part of the team to succeed. all parts have to play, and that's all phases of the game. And you have to play from the first quarter through the fourth quarter until that clock says zero in the game, ending of the game. Unless you're in overtime, and then you're going at OT. Um, I just get annoyed by folks wanting to make some issues and some problems all be Dak fault. And Dak has his faults. Yes, indeed he do. Can Dak do some things better? Yes, indeed he can. But at the end of the day, Dak is not the reason we lost that game on Sunday.
No,
Yes,
not
he had the 2 turnovers. One turnover I'm gonna give him, and that was the one between him and Schultz. The other turnover, you got to give that turnover to Lamb. And I wish that they could change that to where sometimes these interceptions don't get put on the quarterback. Give it to the person that actually caused the interception. Give it to the tight end. Give it to the wide receiver. Um, but because
Or
it
even
falls on the
even with
quarterback,
that, yeah, even with that Schultz, Schultz ran the wrong route.
good.
they both
He was
did.
supposed to, yeah, he's supposed to have cleared for
For
CD, and he brought his defender into the screen. That's why that guy was able to undercut it the way it was. And that's why I put on my post. That's why I said the other day that I really wish that people understood football. And I think somebody came back and still said, well, even though Schultz threw the ball, Dak wasn't supposed to throw it. And I said, this is the NFL. You know, quarterbacks throw to an area that they believe that their receivers are going to be at. And if the receivers aren't doing their jobs, whether it's a tight end or a receiver or a running back, if they run the wrong routes, then it makes the quarterback look bad. When in essence, it wasn't them. So I'm not one I'm like you, Nick. I'm not one who sits up and says that Dak is perfect. But you got to know football before all you see is interception, but you don't see what causes the interception. And it's not always the quarterback's fault. So
I agree.
that's my take on that.
people don't know
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nikki.
the route concepts. A lot of people don't know the route concepts of basically facing certain defenses, so they automatically assume it's the quarterback's fault. They don't understand that basically, hey, Schultz was supposed to clear that out for CeeDee Lamb, and that's why they both was pointing each other. Even on the sidelines, they were talking about it. So to blame the quarterback for that, whatever, it's 50-50. I understand what everybody's saying. You're not supposed to throw interceptions in the red zone. I get it. All right, fine. But when we're up by 14 points, some of that emphasis has to go on the defensive coordinator. This is Quinn's responsibility. It's his defense. This has nothing to do with the quarterback. This has nothing to do with the offense. This is all on the defense at this particular point in time. We only have 14 plays on offense, like I just stated before. So what is that supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? You run the ball on first down, first and second down, you get no yards. Then the third down and long, then you have to throw the ball. It's like now everybody's in panic mode, like, oh my God, the defense is getting ready to get back on the field and they give up another touchdown. So it's just certain things that has to be basically figured out on defense. If we're gonna keep running this 4-2-5, we're gonna have to do something else because these teams are starting to shred that around the league. It's not just the Cowboys, it's around the league now. They're starting to shred this, so we're gonna have to come up with something else. That's why our strong suit on defense is what? Is the safety position, not the linebacker position. But they're going to have to unleash Clark. They're going to have to unleash Cox sooner or later. I understand that Wilson's playing a good game, but Wilson is too light to be in the box all the time against these big these big linemen. He's too light. And so they're taking advantage of that. That's why Green Bay, that's why Chicago they are running the ball. They're running the ball more. And a lot of teams are seeing that, hey, most of these teams are in nickel now or on a watered down dime package, and they're saying, listen, we're gonna run the ball more, and that's what's going on. We got to do something. So to blame this on Dak Prescott is crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I see quarterbacks around the league making the same mistakes, but their fan base is a little bit more gentle and easy on their quarterbacks, which is crazy too. But we have the crazy fan base because of this whole Romo thing. Still, they're not over that. And they just need to let it go. When Dak fails, we all fail. When he wins, we all win. They have to understand that. Stop being so divisive. They're too divisive for me. That's why a lot of times I don't even comment on it. I'm like, whatever. They're miserable. Let them be miserable. We have 8 games left in the season to make some noise. So just let them. Sometimes you just gotta let them be. You can't make everybody happy in life. You just gotta let certain people be, man. They just miserable. They just miserable. My only thing with that and CeeDee Lamb, I seen the same thing last year doing the Saints game, same route, and it was intercepted last year. Same thing happened this year about the Green Bay game. They just have to come together and communicate better in regards to these deep slants over the middle. It was the same thing against the Saints last year. Same exact play. I'm like, didn't I just see this last year? So CeeDee Lamb and that, they have to get on the same page. They have to.
Well, not only that, look at CD's body language if he's not the first read. I want people to just look at that. He has to fight for the ball too. Even if it's a bad throw, he has to fight for the ball. As a receiver, and I know when I played receiver, I was taught that you turn into a DB if the throw is not bad. But even on that interception where he ran across, on the interception, and he went across the top instead of coming to the middle. If you look at his body language, he immediately gave up on the play. He
Hey,
damn near threw his arms up.
he did that against the Bears too.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. They have to communicate. They have to communicate. They have to do something. They have to do
Yeah,
something because
he do it all the
right now,
time.
CD is our only reliable wide receiver right now. If you look at it, think about it. Because Gallup only has 100 yards in the last 4 games. So besides that and the tight ends, I mean, CD is it for us right now. And Pollard. So they have to communicate. We have to do something, man.
Right. Oh, Lisa's comment was about Parsons, and she said Parsons still looked like he was playing hurt, and I do think that he's still not 100 percent Parsons. You know, groins or injuries are hard to just tackle, right away. So even though he was off, he had the bye week, it still probably wasn't enough time for him to get fully healthy. I think they need that's why it's important that we get and have another middle linebacker that can play because they wearing Parsons down, trying to play him and pull him 2, 3, 4 different ways. Um, and a groin injury is hard for players to overcome in that short length and stint of time. So I don't think he is playing 100%. I think he is still hurt.
Groin injuries take like 3 weeks to heal with rest. And he hasn't really been resting. He only had 1 week to really rest. So, and now he has an ankle injury as well. So he's not 100%. But hey, they're gonna have to figure out if he's a linebacker or a defensive end. That's another thing too. You got to figure it one position and let him stay at that position. You can't keep rotating them
Right.
to the or
Hmm.
linebacker. You have to find one position for him.
And they
I mean,
say Cox having fluid drained off his knee, so he's probably a no go for Sunday. Cox. So
what's up with Clark? They're gonna have to give Clark some run because his speed. We're gonna need his speed against Minnesota.
Sean, can you put Tina comment back up? That's the history of Dallas Cowboys. Romo was the problem for everything that went wrong in what many people said, when in fact it was major problems on both sides of the ball, just like we see today with Dak and his team. Yeah, that's true. Even with Romo, it was always Romo's fault. Nobody's took in consideration the fact that he didn't have a line for a long time. They didn't take that into consideration with him. It was always, I mean, it's just the fact that any quarterback that come in and play for the Dallas Cowboys, this is what you're gonna get. I mean, I'm sitting here, I work from home, I'm watching sports all day. So even watching TV today, I was getting annoyed because it's like, okay, the Eagles was the only undefeated team. They lost to the Commanders, a team that definitely was what, fourth in the division, and a backup quarterback. But yet everything came on was about the Cowboys losing to Green Bay. I'm like, okay, so how we not gonna focus on Eagles being 8-0 and they losing their first game to the Commanders and backup quarterback in the way that they lost, and not only how the end of the game ended, with the Eagles and Washington getting that touchdown, that walk off touchdown. Like I don't get it. So we're always going to be in the limelight. We're going to always be the team that's going to keep the media flowing. keep the ratings going, and I get that. Um, and players, and especially the quarterbacks, that they have to know that when you come here, this is what you're gonna get. So I think that's one reason why he blocks it out. He doesn't let it affect him. He doesn't let it bother him. He moves on from it fairly quickly, because he knew what he was signing up for. I mean, he was a Cowboy fan growing up, so he already knew what he was signing up for. Miss
Hey,
D says
put
she didn't realize Parsons was in the game.
Parsons was there. He just was out of place a lot. They had him at linebacker and not defensive end, and they were running at Parsons. That's what I mean about basically when you have the 4-2-5 out there. When you have the 4-2-5 out there, that's a dime or a nickel package, right? So I'm going to put my jumbo package out there on offense. I'm going to run it down your throat. And that's what the team's doing. That's exactly what they're doing. That's the concept of football right now. And that's what they're doing. So we
Cooley
need to
Cool said he
understand
not a D,
he's not. He's not, but we playing him as DN
but
right
we
now.
playing him as one. Yeah,
We playing
right.
him. So I mean we gotta figure out what is it? What is he?
What's gonna be his position? What's his position?
Yeah. We have to figure it out. We gotta understand what's going on.
The bottom line is Cowboy Nation is terribly frustrated and we want to win. Everything that goes wrong, especially in the quarterback position, will be highlighted because Cowboys Nation is just tired of being sick and tired of losing. I mean, I get it. I totally agree with Tina. We are tired. Everybody's tired. I mean, it's been 20 plus years and I saw we get the same, we keep getting the same thing every year seems like. But can we totally quarterback is gonna always get the most slack. Gonna always get it. The mall always get the most slack. No matter what. No matter what team they play for. It's gonna all bow down to the quarterback play, what the quarterback do. But you have to take an honest look at your whole team around and see where your holes are at. Things that we've been saying we needed for a minute now. We barely have. We still don't have. We how many seasons we've been saying we need a run stopper? We ain't just said that this year. We ain't just noticed we needed a run stopper this season. We've been knowing we needed a run stopper. We've been saying it. We have capability of some players on the team that possibly can be run stoppers, but the problem is the coaches are not. To me, at some point, they're not putting some of the right players out there.
And I want to reiterate what K Boogie said earlier. If you go back to, when they started changing the rules to make sure that the league became a passing league, and they changed the rules to benefit the offense, teams started drafting these speedy corners, these big corners, and this and that to compensate for the speed that was going to be on the field. So the NFL has, in order to counter that, then you brought in the running quarterbacks. Well, not every quarterback is going to be a running quarterback. You're not going to have a Jalen Hurts or a Fields or a Lamar Jackson or a Daniel Jones. Every quarterback is not going to be that. So what do you do next? You start running the ball. Because just like K Boogie said, you're coming out here with these 4-2-5s. The linebackers are smaller. They're faster. They're smaller. The safeties are pretty much, most linebackers are hybrid safeties. Most safeties are hybrid linebackers. So now the league is going back to, okay, we need to run the ball. We need to pound the ball. And that's been the shift. So how do we counter that? That should be the questions that the coaches, come up with. How do we counter this, this shift in play now?
Hey, we need to switch. If that's the case, I mean, a lot of teams might switch back to having a 3-4 to counter that. But then you're going to have these quarterbacks going back to passing again. So somebody's going to have to come up with some solution quickly. Somebody's going to have to come up with something quickly. Maybe they're going to run the ball just like the Redskins did for 46 times last night. They was running the hell out that ball last night, and they made sure Philly didn't get on the field. So we're gonna have to see somebody's gonna have to be innovative enough to change the philosophy on defense when you have these basically jumbo packages and these bunch packages on offense. Somebody's gonna have to be innovative. We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to. But you know what? Aaron Rodgers has our number 2. We gotta understand Aaron Rodgers 8-2 lifetime against the Cowboys. We have to understand that too. It's just something about Aaron Rodgers playing the Cowboys that brings the best out of him. We have to understand that as well. I know a lot of people are upset, a lot of fans are upset, but we have to understand too, A-Rod is, he plays some of his best games against us. And that's it too. He plays some of his best games. I mean, it is what it is. So we can't take certain things, and say that, hey, this is our problem. This is another problem. We all know we can't really stop the run because we on a 4-2-5. So we have to make some adjustments to it. Moving forward, that's it. Because we play Minnesota. Minnesota, to me, has a balanced offense, and they're just as explosive as anybody in the NFL to me. I watched that game against Buffalo. They should have lost that game too. They should have lost that game. But we have to make some adjustments moving forward. We have to. We have to come up with some type of solutions. And that's why I wanted to see Cox and Clark on the field. I don't know if Barr's going to be able to play against his old team on Sunday or not. We don't know. Because I'm telling you, Wilson is a little bit too light right now. I'm telling you, Chicago Bears ran it down our throat. We've given up basically 200-plus yards of rushing basically 2 weeks in a row.
Yep. 207 to be exact with Green Bay, and right at 200 with Chicago.
So, I mean,
So that's 400 yards total that we have given up within 2 weeks. But yet everybody want to say, when we lose a game, it's one person's fault.
Let's
when
even
it's one
take
person's fault.
let's even take that a step further. Not only did they just they outrushed us, they just kept running the ball. The next thing they did was whether they were losing, just like Chicago and Green Bay, they were down and still running the ball because they felt like that's what they could do to beat us.
Yeah, I pointed that out in one of the chats because they did the same thing in the Buffalo. They were down big to Buffalo, and they came back because they were running the ball. I said they're down 14 points. They're going to run the ball against us because teams been really successful running the ball, and that's what they did. It opened up the play-action pass, and there you go. So, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like we said before, I had the Cowboys going 3-1 versus basically the NFC North, right? So we just got to go out and beat Minnesota now, and we good. That's why I can't understand why there's such an uproar. I understand we lost against Green Bay, but we're supposed to be 3-4 against the North anyway, to be honest with you. So that's why I can't understand why everybody's in the uproar. We beat the Vikings, boom, and we all right. Maybe I'm just an optimist. That's it. But the sky's not falling over here. That's all I can say. It's not falling. We just got to stick together. The Cowboys got to stick together, actually, and just make sure we have a good game plan against Minnesota. Because it's a copycat league, so, everybody's going to follow the same game plan. We just have to actually make some adjustments on defense.
That's it. Got to make adjustments. Quinn got to make adjustments. As good as he has been with this defense and turning this defense around, it didn't work. It didn't happen Sunday. Period. It didn't happen. So both sides have to own what they didn't do. Period. Both sides got to own it, and get it fixed. I mean, for me, it's no need of going back and forth on where the offense didn't do this or this person didn't do this, this person did that, but this person didn't do this and do that. At the end of the day, the whole damn team got on the plane, flew from Wisconsin back to Dallas with a goddamn L from Green Bay. The whole team. They didn't pull certain players out the line on the team and said, you got an L, you got an L, you got an L, you got a W, you got a W, you got a W. No, the whole goddamn Dallas Cowboy team got on the plane and flew back to Dallas, Texas with an L. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's exactly what happened. You win as a team, you lose as a team. Yeah, you're gonna nitpick out things and say, okay, well, this shouldn't have happened. Maybe if this didn't happen, maybe that didn't happen. It doesn't matter. End result was what? A L for the whole team and the whole fan base. We all took a L. No matter how you try to dice it up, cut it up, we all took a L. So fix the L, fix the problem, get it fixed, and get back to the drawing board, get it fixed. Get ready for the next week. We don't have time to keep dwelling on the loss to the Packers. That's over with. That's done. It's a wrap. We got a 8-1 team that we have to play this Sunday again at 3:25 in Minnesota on the road. So we have to put this game behind us. Look at what we did wrong. Look at the film. Look at the tape. They figure out what they did wrong. They get it right. They get it together. Get their ass on the plane, fly to Minnesota, go out there, get a win, and come back to Dallas and get ready for the Giants. We have a 12-day game span that we got
Mm-hmm.
2 games. We won't have time to keep dwelling on what happened with Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay. I doubt we even see Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay in the playoffs. So it is what it is.
You're right. So
It is what it is.
that's why I don't get emotional about anything. I don't even comment anymore because it's just, as we call it, white noise. That's it. It's just a lot of noise that's surrounding our team right now. Just let it go. I mean, our fans have to understand too. Stop listening to the media. A lot of this is media driven. They like to see the Cowboys' downfall so they can analyze everything, and they know that our fan base sometimes goes over the top with their emotions, and they play on our emotions, on their emotions. That's what they do. If you ever look at certain things like that, they pointing out these little tidbits, and right after they point those out, the fan base just goes in an uproar on all social media, everything on social media. Because I'm on all social media. I'm on like 30 different Cowboy sites on Facebook, so I see some of these comments, and I'm like, damn, y'all don't have a job or nothing? What's going on here? It's like, it's crazy. So that's why I don't take it all in. I never get too high, never get too low. Just got to be even keel. You have to be even keel, and they have to stop listening to the media, especially when we lose. The
Right.
ESPN loves that. ESPN loves when we lose because they're going to hype the fact that, hey, this is why we lost, and it's this person's fault. Now
Right.
on
And,
ESPN,
right.
you saw that, right? Stephen A. Smith, that's the problem. Now that he's getting $40 million in, I'm like, come on, Stephen
Yeah,
A.
he said that this morning. That was the first thing that was about what the show first take was about this morning. Whatever. But you know, it is what it is. We all know what Stephen A does, and that's why when Keyshawn was on there this morning, I was like, hey, tune in, listen to Keyshawn, tune in, listen to Marcus Spears, because they gave you the real spill. They gave you the real spill. They broke it all the way down, and they gave you the real spill. No, they didn't. They didn't give Dak a pass of for the game. What happened? They they said what they said about Dak as well, but they totally broke it down on the whole dissect of the game and what happened in that game on Sunday. What could have been done better, not just by one player, but by the whole team, even along with the coaching staff. They broke it down. We threw 46 times against a team, an offense. I'm sorry, a defense that was ranked 26 in the lead against the run. Let that sink in. So we're gonna still say that's all Dak? Why in the hell is Kellen Moore throwing 46 times when you running the ball against a team that's ranked 26 in the league in run defense? That ain't that. That's coaching. That's coaching.
But see,
It's
here's my
ridiculous.
thing, though, Nikki. Not to cut you off, but we were up by 14 points too.
Right.
This would be a mute issue if we didn't lose the game. So, see, and that's the media just pointing out little tidbits that I just mentioned. Oh, did it? I'm like, wait a minute, but we were up by 14 points. Nobody says Quinn should have changed the defense on 4th and 7. Why not go to a zone? Why not? You man to man, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen in a bunch formation because the Eagles use a bunch formation against us.
We
The Bears,
always get killed
same
on
thing.
man to man.
You got to do something else. You got to switch it up. And we didn't switch it up, and we got burned.
Got burnt. Got burnt.
And so
Own it. Just own it. Own it.
But our
Own
fans
it.
don't know the concepts of defense or offense, so then they just go overboard with it. I see it. I see the comments. I don't comment on everything I see because it's not worth it to me. It's not worth it. It's like, all right, whatever, man. You get to the point where it's like it's not even worth commenting on certain things. Just let them comment. They're frustrated. Let them be frustrated. But their frustration is not my frustration because I believe in my team. We just have to get certain things fixed. We just have to get certain things fixed and just move on. We 6-3, not 3-6. That's another thing. We 6-3, not 3-6. So I can imagine what would happen if we were 3-6. Oh, forget it. But we're 6-3. The Eagles just lost, so we 2 games out of first place. We have the Giants on Thanksgiving, which a lot of Giants fans here in New York and Jersey are really chirping in my ear. I get it. I tell them that they better eat early on Thanksgiving. All all I can tell you is that we gonna come. We're gonna be okay. That's what I keep telling the fan base. We're gonna be okay. It's nothing to. Every time we lose, it's like the sky's falling. And I've never seen that before. Anybody else, as soon as we lose, the sky's falling. Every game, oh my God, there it goes. I'm like, wait a minute, but we are over 500. We may be in third place, but hey, if the playoffs started right now, we'd be in the playoffs, and that's all you want to do. Anyways, get in the playoffs because anything can happen. We just got to make sure when we get in the playoffs, we doing things efficiently so we can win in the playoffs. So that's why I'm not pressed about what they say on TV. I laugh half the time. Some of my other friends is watching this, they laugh too. But some of our other fans, they taking it really serious and they going at it with each other. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on right now? Every time we lose, this happens. It's just crazy. I don't
The
know
truth
about
is,
the
every time a player gets big money, especially a Dallas Cowboys player, their performance declines. What went wrong? Nothing. It's just who you are. You've seen this before. Good job at being Dr. Phil to your fan
I
base.
guess that was directed towards me being Dr. Phil for the fan base.
No. Okay, but your confidence in the Cowboys is great, but we are who we are. We can't win the games. We can't win the games we need.
So was this a must-win game against Green Bay though? Was this a must-win game?
No,
This wasn't
it wasn't. I
it
mean, we
wasn't
wanted to win because it was Aaron Rodgers. We wanted to win because it
yeah.
was a road game. We wanted to win because we felt we at the fact that their record, their team. But I mean, but that's why you have to understand that it's any time, any given Sunday, Thursday, Monday, a team can get beaten. This is the NFL, and I said it over and over again. Do not look at the record of Green Bay. Do not look at the fact that Green Bay got beat by Detroit Lions. Don't look at that. Still have to understand Aaron Rodgers is still one of the best quarterbacks still in the league, regardless of what his team record is, regardless of how him and his players on his team gelling and wide receivers are getting along on the team. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's one of the quarterbacks that have always had Dallas Cowboy number. Period. Um, it is what it is. The last time we beat Aaron Rodgers was what, 2016, Dak first year in the regular season. He came back to the stadium in playoffs, broke our hearts, and he's been breaking our hearts every the last years that we have played them. Yes, as fans, yes, we wanted to go in there, win, and beat a team that we felt was already down, a team that had a horrible record, a team that just got beat by the Detroit Lions when the way that we beat Detroit Lions. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It is what it is. We have to pick up the pieces and we have to move on. We still have a whole second half of schedule that needs to be played. If
Exactly.
we sit back and dwell on this one game that we did not beat Aaron Rodgers yet again, that's gonna carry over to the next game, the next game, the next game. Then everybody gonna really be sitting here looking stupid. So we didn't win. We didn't do it. It's time to move on to Minnesota Vikings. We have to prepare for Jefferson,
Whew.
uh, Davin Cook, another running team, and we still have an issue. And we still don't have a run stopper on this team yet. A better run stopper they have came up on this team yet. And we finna the next couple of teams are running teams. Right after that, we got Saquon Barkley coming in. So we need to focus on the things that we need to focus on to get this team going in the right direction. We can't worry about it. It happened. Luckily, it didn't put us in a position that it knocked us out of playoffs. It didn't put us in a position that we still can build wins and come up where we need to come up at. So it is what it is. Most of the time we don't play good in the cold anyway. Very rare we do play good in the cold. That's why it's good to have home field advantage for us because we're not a cold weather team. I was kind of glad that we played Green Bay when we played them because I was like, okay, you don't have to worry about going play them with all this snow and ice and stuff, you know. So I was kind of glad we played them when we played them. It wasn't as bad. The weather wasn't bad. It wasn't raining. It wasn't cold. We don't do good in cold weather. We just don't.
Mhm.
We never have been that team to do that.
No, I just think, like I said before, I think Aaron Rodgers has our number.
He does.
He has our number, and we
Time
just
to face it. Own up to it. Time to face it. He
sometimes, you
have
know
our
what
number.
it is? I'm gonna tell you what. Sometimes we don't give the other teams credit for beating us. It's like we have to play the perfect game for us to win. Sometimes the other team on that particular day was just better than us.
We got out coached.
Anytime that you play sports, sometimes the other team is just better than us on that given day. That's
On
it.
that given Sunday. That's it.
They just better than us.
And
That's
we
it.
got out coached. We got out coached.
I don't know about
You
must-win games this early in the season, though. Tina, I don't understand the must-win games right now. The season. I break this season down into 4 quarters. We're actually in the 3rd quarter now. We have 3rd and the 4th quarter, so I don't see this as a must-win season. The must-win games to me start in the 4th quarter because that's when you want to get hot. That's when you want to be playing your best ball at the end of the year, going into the playoffs. Not right now. We've seen.
Well, I
other
say
teams.
the division games are must wins. I put more than on them must wins. I say I don't say all NFC games teams that we play are must wins, but they do make a difference for seeding in the playoffs. And it could make or break you if you're on that tail end of getting in the playoffs. It could make or break you, but I don't say that they're all must wins. If you play, that's putting too much pressure. To me, saying every game is a must win is putting too much pressure. Putting too much pressure. We want to
know,
win all games. We want to come in and we want all games to be winnable, and they should be. Most of them should be winnable games, but I won't classify all of them as a must win.
But what did
well,
I tell you
yeah,
before?
yeah. Or even on that point,
That's just me though.
it was a must win for Green Bay,
Yeah, not for us.
but it wasn't a must win for us. I mean, hypothetically, if something were to happen and the playoffs were to start today, you'd have 3 teams from the NFC East in the playoffs.
But you would.
So was I disappointed? That we lost. I wasn't disappointed that we lost because in actuality, when we did our predictions at the beginning of the year, this is a game that I had said that we were going to lose. And I predicted us to go 11-6, 12-5, or 11-6, and we're still on pace for that. I think as fans, we want to go out there and we want to win every game.
Yeah, we
We
do.
we,
We
want to
do.
win every game. But what have we been telling the Eagles fans over the last couple of weeks? Over the last month or so, you're gonna lose. You're not going. Eventually you're gonna lose. And if we listen to the commentators and the people at Sports Center, hell, they had Philly going, you know, 13-0, 14-0 before they finally lost the
Finally lost the
game.
game.
Yeah, to
Mhm.
us too at the end of the year, and I'm like, come on, y'all serious right now? Y'all still got to play the Bears as well. Come on.
So
I don't know.
I can't take any stock in. I don't take any. Now, do I look into Stephen A. and stuff like that and some of the other comments? I listen to it to hear what they have to say more than the information that they're saying. It, and we all know this. Cowboys lose. What is the first? Cowboys win or lose. I don't care what anybody. Philly's been 8-0. They've been undefeated. Since everybody else lost. But what do Sports Center and other national, you know, sports shows always start off with?
The Dallas Cowboys win or lose. The Dallas Cowboys.
World Series was going on. Who did they start out with?
The Dallas Cowboys. It is what
No.
it is. That's why I can laugh and joke and be like, yo, it's not that serious because this is what the media does. This is what the media, they basically, anything that has to do with the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to gravitate to it. Negative or positive, actually, connotations, they're going to gravitate to it. And now you got Stephen A. Smith going on there with his cigar. Oh, the Cowboys. I'm like, come on, dude. We already know what you're going to do. Worry about your Steelers already. You worried about the Cowboys. You need to be worried about your Steelers. But it is what it is.
Let's see here. Cooley too. So I think it's because we was up 2 touchdowns and lost is why people are mostly upset. And
Right.
that's how me. I'm upset
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
not
mad
that
about.
we
I'm
lost. I'm upset
disappointed.
how we lost.
Yeah, that's what Casey said earlier too. He was like, it's not about that we lost, it's how we lost the game. And that's what I'm more upset about. I'm more pissed off about that. Like, there's no reason we was up 2 touchdowns and we lost this game. There's no way with the way our defense was playing, we should have um we should have lost this game.
How do you think the fans in Buffalo are feeling right now? All they had to do was get the ball out of the end zone and take a couple of knees or a one or two knees, and the game was over with. Did anybody expect Josh Allen to fumble the ball for a touchdown against Minnesota? How many people would have thought that?
Josh Allen played bad. He had 2 interceptions in the end zone, and he fumbled that ball on that 1.5 yard line. Imagine if that was Dak Prescott that did that.
Oh
It'd be
my God.
Armageddon right now in Dallas if Dak Prescott did the same thing that Josh did on Sunday.
It'd be Armageddon over the whole United States.
Yo, it's incredible. It's
Oh,
just
they would have met him in Green Bay.
right.
They would have
Yo,
found a flight and met him at the airport.
I don't know. Tad would have had to call the boys up for that one. Tad wasn't going for that one. Tad ain't going for that. Oh no, Tad ain't going for that. Not
You
at
know, and
all.
I know we make light of this. I know I definitely know that we make light of it, but you know, like we told, I was saying about Philly. Um, it's not, and I think K Boogie, you said it a little bit earlier. It's not how you start a season; it's how you finish the season.
Exactly.
You know, the last two Giants Super Bowls, they went in as wild card teams and had to go on the road to win the Super Bowl. Who would have thought that the way the Rams was playing about toward the end of the season that they would be Super Bowl winners. So I don't panic. Like I put in, some group, I can't remember what group it was. I don't panic until I lose the game that gets me out of the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Mm.
Whether it be a regular season game that said, "Oh, the Cowboys are knocked out the playoffs," or a playoff game where it said, "Oop, the Cowboys are knocked out the playoffs." Because anything can happen. Look at, I'm going back to uh, Tennessee a few years with the Titans miracle or whatever the chat was. They were supposed to have lost that game and they did the 100 flips and got the
Mm-hmm.
touchdown and won. Minnesota, they were supposed to have lost that game a couple of years ago,
Yep.
and
Thanks.
Diggs caught against the Saints and caught that miracle pass. So we say it all the time that the NFL or sports in general is the ultimate reality show. And I know there's a lot of, we have a lot of women viewers on here, so you should be able to appreciate that. You look at uh, Love and Hip Hop and Housewives of uh, Tua Samba and
We
this
about
and another. Yeah, but just think about it. Sports is the ultimate reality show. It's not scripted. It is what it is. Now, I did call Philadelphia losing yesterday. I did call that because that was an NFC. That was an NFC. Somebody came on my page and I said, you ought to worry about this game tonight. And pretty much I said it because I was saying that Washington is right for winning this game. Actually, Green Bay had lost 5 straight. Eventually, they were going to win a game. I hate it was against us, but they won. You know, it's time. Like somebody, we said earlier, it's time to move on to Minnesota.
got to have to.
We
Got to
got
focus.
to. We got to
Have
move
to.
on.
Got
Got
to
to let it
focus on
go
that.
because if not, we'll go in the Minnesota game with the hangover from Green Bay. So we just got to let it go. It is what it is, and I mean, we should have won. We was in position to win. We could have won. We should have won. Well, reality is we didn't. Same thing with the Bills. They should have already beat Minnesota. It didn't happen. I gotta
Hey,
move on.
hey, listen, Detroit
Wait.
came back against Chicago too, so there was a lot of big leads that were squandered this weekend, and teams lost. Okay, fine. Move on to the next week. It's done. It's over with. Just like if a coach tell the players, listen, it was a hard loss, but we got to move on now. Soak for an hour, get it out the system. Let's prepare for next week, and that's what we have to do. Just let it go. Just let it go. Like
So
Teddy
we're
Pendergrass, let it go.
So we're going to advertise. Thank you, Kula. We're going to advertise for our chat that we have. If you want to talk football every day, all day long,
All day.
Oh
from
man,
3 o'clock in the morning
I,
until 2:30 in the next morning.
I can't. I can't.
I guarantee you they gonna turn their notifications off. They gonna be
Yes,
like, nah, yeah.
I turn our
I turn
notifications
my
They be
off.
phone
like, y'all
off.
be do. I know. I wake up sometime like 3, 4 o'clock and I be like, what the hell went on up in here?
So Tina asked a question: do you think we would secure a playoff spot? If so, what are the must-win games? That's an insult. I absolutely never watch those types of shows.
I
Okay,
told you
I
that.
understand. I understand what you're saying, Tina. I mean, but on the flip side, they put those shows on there for entertainment. They put them on there, and in actuality, most of those people are actually friends. By
Yeah,
the way,
scripted anyway.
yeah,
Everything's scripted, basically.
it's darn near scripted. Uh, I messed around one time, and
Hey,
I'm
what show
I'm
y'all
not
talking about?
just
Any
any of the love and hip hop pops and all that.
Oh, okay.
any
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
reality
yeah.
show,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
most of
yeah.
went to
Yeah.
anyway.
there's a spot that was on the south side of Atlanta, and I used to go to this spot after work, and Little Scrappy was in this spot every Thursday. And he got there right before happy hour. And one day, I never said anything to him. I never said anything to him. So one day he was in there and he finally said something. He finally said, man, I appreciate coming down here and people just letting me be me, because everywhere I go, I got to put on this,
Persona.
pretense. Yeah, this pretense of, so he was like, so I was like, me, I'm just a chill person anyway. So I pretty much said, look, man, I'm in here to have me a drink after work. I'm not even over here trying to bother you and this and that and other. And I, as a man, I want to escape reality. So this is why I come here. There's a little hole in the wall. And he actually said he appreciated it. And he didn't say that stuff was fake, but he kind of insinuated, just like you said, that it was scripted. So
That stuff is scripted.
Yeah, I believe most of it
I'm
is
gonna keep my
scripted.
horses
I
to myself.
watch now. I watch the show. Me, I know I like a little toxic and a little kind of a little. I like a little toxic shit and a little stuff going on. That little, little drama here and there.
I can't do it no
So
more. It's just too much. It's just too
speaking
much.
of drama, I'm surprised you're not in Facebook jail or somewhere. I got time today.
right, I made it. Somebody let me make. Somebody thought enough of me. And let me make it. Well, actually, I deleted him so I could make it. I was like, you know what? Let me just go and delete him because I'm one letter away from getting that message from Facebook jail. So I just went on and deleted him because I just think it was very disturbing to me what he said, and I mean it was just disturbing, like and then on the next post for him to say he hopes that have
Oh,
a major injury. He hopes Dak have an injury. CD Lamb have an injury. Who else he said? Lamb
and
and Zeke.
Zeke.
See,
I hope
everybody.
Lamb, Zeke, and Dak have a major injury, so we can go ahead and just rebuild the team. I'm like that's just stupid. It's ignorant. I don't wish injury on no player, not even regardless of who they play for. Dallas Goedert got hurt. Goedert got hurt last night against the Eagles. They say he gonna miss some time. It's because the
Yeah,
Eagles is my rivalry team. I don't mean I want to see a player get hurt. Just their livelihood. This how they make their money. At the end of the day, yeah, it's millions of dollars they making. They might can stand and lose a million or two here and there because that's what the money they making. But it's still their livelihood. Some of them don't ever regain to come back and play again. This is
Who
things
did
that
who
they do.
who do we
Um,
who do we delete, Drew? I want to know who we delete.
I ain't never
He don't
deleted
delete nobody.
nobody.
Somebody
We
else
ain't.
deleted
Yeah.
I ain't
themselves.
deleted nobody.
How you said
I
we
don't
don't
delete
delete anybody?
nobody.
They
I
delete
delete off my
themselves.
page, but not off of here.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it is. They delete themselves. We don't delete them. They delete themselves by some of the
Yeah.
comments they post.
I don't never even see nothing.
I think that there's
Like
only
out of
been
line.
one. I think there's only been one person that I've ever put off this show, and that's because they disrespected Nikki, and that's something that I will not play. I don't play about. You're not going to disrespect uh, a woman, and I'll be even more specific. I'm any woman in general, but I'm definitely not going to let anybody disrespect our queens in my presence. I don't care where I'm at. So that's the only time we put anybody off this show. So Brian says the defense was exposed, or they only had 90 seconds before they had to return to the field, in my opinion, due to horrible play calling. Um, I kind of sort of disagree with that a little bit because I think that we have a good rotation, and I'm not quite sure, but I think that we have more defensive players on our roster than we do offensive players. Am I, Nikki? Can you check
Mhm.
on that for us?
Mhm.
I really think that. I mean, a lot of money is we have a lot more money on offense because of Dak and because of the skill positions um, and our O line. But I actually think that we have more defensive players on our roster than we do offensive players.
And we got to change the scheme. That 4-2-5 against these jumbo packages on offense, man, that's what's killing us. Especially
Uh,
running to the outside.
so
Especially running
Drew,
to the
yeah,
outside.
Drew, she deleted somebody off her page because
Yeah.
they said that they wanted Dak to get hurt, and Dak and was it Dak, Zeke, and CeeDee
Zach,
Lamb to
Zeke, and
get hurt.
Lamb. Yeah, I
Yeah.
deleted it off my page, not off of here. I deleted it
Uh,
off my personal page.
Now, if somebody posts something like in here, we're not gonna kick you
Nah.
out or delete you. You might get told a
I get
couple of,
checked.
yeah, we're gonna,
Man.
yeah,
Them off a bridge or something.
Yeah, no, no, that was my personal page. That I deleted.
yeah. And when I saw that, and Drew, let me go back to you. You know, in that other group that we talk about all the time, that those guys in there talk about they can't wait. They wish that Dak would have a season in it. And I learned to stop even commenting on those.
That's crazy.
Because regardless of in a opinion, we can all as Cowboy fans or any sports team, we can have our opinion about something. But when you and start wanting somebody to get hurt or injured, then you got to have a really sick mind to say that you want somebody to incur an injury. That to me is that's inhumane. You know,
Yeah, I don't like that. You don't wish injury on no player, whether they play for the Cowboys or not. You just don't. You don't
They
do
just
that.
miserable. They just miserable. Sometimes you just gotta let miserable people be in a corner by themselves. You can. It's nothing that you can say or do that's gonna help them out of their misery. So sometimes just let them be miserable.
Right, and that's why I didn't entertain them. I said what I had to say, and I just deleted them because I was like, this will be the one I go to Facebook jail over. Like, just don't. It just wasn't. I was just like, that's just stupid to me.
Very.
It's childish.
It is what it is. It is.
the biggest thing with me um, is that I love the passion of Cowboy fans, but at the same time, sometimes I can't deal with the passion of Cowboy fans. And I think that's where, the fact that we are so popular as a fan base. It doesn't matter where I go. Somebody, oh, you're a Cowboy, because I wear Cowboy stuff everywhere I go. You know, I even got a black, I even wear my black Cowboys hat to when I have to wear my referee stuff until it's time for me to get on the field because that's just, I gotta have something on Cowboys. Um, and no matter where I go, somebody has something to say. And it's for every other person that I meet, it's either I used to be a Cowboys fan until, or my brother's a Cowboy fan, my sister's a Cowboy fan, this and another, or you a Cowboys fan, you know. So our popularity has got us where we at. Let's see. Drew said, "I don't want injury. I want a team to close the game. Next time, put teams away and start scoring on the first possession." I mean, I think that's that's the perfect scenario. The perfect scenario is to have a game like we had against Chicago, where we scored on the first. I forgot how however many possessions that we had.
First three, I think.
Yeah, but that's not reality for that to happen every week. It's just not going to happen. And it's very rarely that you're going to have somebody lost 35-0 a couple of weeks ago. It's very rare that you're going to have games like that. So I don't know. Let me
Man,
see.
listen, like I said, Green Bay just Aaron Rodgers just has our number. He's 8-2 against us. He's just one of the. He just has our number. Sometimes you just got to say, okay, you know what? It's reality. Smack me in my face. Let's go to the next thing, and that's it. Just get over it. Just say, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. In Vegas, that's another situation for another day. Look at that.
I mean, who would have
That's
thought
crazy.
that little young fella would have had 146 yards and 3 touchdowns against us?
Right. Like
This
a scrub, a rookie. Nobody they ain't never heard of him. You
See
know,
Christian
but that's the
Watson,
only thing
though?
that makes
Wait,
me
yeah.
mad. That's
wait.
the only thing kind of pisses me off though, because we did that in
Christian
Atlanta.
Watson is 6'5", 220, and runs the 40 and 4.3. I watched
Right,
him
he
play in
do.
college.
Yeah.
He just needed a breakout game, and Bland and Hooker played really bad. Hooker took bad angles all game. I watched it twice. I'm like, Hooker, you know better than that. He just had a bad game. And Bland, he was just a neverland. He's a rookie, so they took advantage of him.
But
But
how
yo, I'm
many
telling you,
how many passes has this kid dropped all year?
I know he
How
dropped two
many?
that day. He dropped two
Yeah,
passes that
he
game.
and how many times have he's only I think the most yards he ever got in this game was like 54 yards. So we what people got to understand that this is still the NFL. These players are professional football players. On the other side of the field are professional coaches. You know, you, it's at some point it's only going to be one winner of a Super Bowl, and I don't think that we're going to have another run like Belichick and Tom Brady had. I don't think there's going to be another team that's going to do that for a long time.
Mm.
Uh,
Too much parity in the league right now.
yeah, it's too much. It's definitely too much parity. I mean, the Lions are what are they 2-7 or whatever their record is?
Ain't they 3-6?
3-6, but they're still scoring. They're scoring up in the 30s almost every game. Who would have thought Miami would be? And who would have Tua? They was trying to run Tua out of town last season. After last season, nobody wanted Tua. They wanted Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, they did. They wanted to
Now
trade.
this guy is up for the MVP. You know,
They in first place too. After he came
Yes.
back from being on that concussion, Miami's been hot to trot, baby. They've been balling.
Yeah, Drew said perfect throw and catch throughout the game by Rodgers. Rodgers was 16 of 20
He killed us.
or a little bit over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. But his 16 of 20 is not what got them to score. What got them to the scores was that they ran the ball almost 40 times.
Yeah.
And I looked down there on the when I was on and go back and look at the replay of the game if you want to. Look at our defensive scheme. They ran the ball so much. There were times that we had at least 9 players within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage. And that's what I wish people when you watch the games, don't just look at the plays. Go out there and start counting how many guys are in the box. For those who know the game, look and see how many guys are in the box. Against us. I mean, when we're on defense, they're supposed to be able to throw it. They're supposed to get those long because they've set up that they're going to run, pop.
Play action pass.
That's it.
Nah, the play for me was that 4th down and 7, and Aaron Rodgers threw that touchdown pass to Watson. One single high safety. I'm like, yo, Hooker, you know better than that. You know you're the last line of defense. And you always, the speed demon is the one that you have to watch out for more than anybody else. He cut across the face. I'm like, oh, damn, that's a touchdown. And I called it. I'm like, that's a touchdown. So we have to make some adjustments too. Hooker did not play his best game, neither did Blair in that game. Especially Hooker. I was surprised because he looked like he was a step off. I don't know if he's still dealing with his hamstring injury, but he looked like he was a step off. He did that game. He did. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I was watching the games. I was taking notes. I'm like, man, what are we doing on defense? What are we doing? We up 28-14. I was feeling good. I'm like, bet, let me go out, get some food for me and my mom. Just boom. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I said, I can't go nowhere. Let me sit down. And all of a sudden, they started running the ball. I'm like, damn, they eating up a lot of clock right now. And that's one thing, too. When you have all these running plays, you eating the clock. Defense getting tired. Then when the offense wants to come out, then boom, 3 and out. I'm like, uh-oh, this is not good. And so I see the tables are turned. I'm like, why didn't Quinn go to his own defense? Everything was man-to-man. And they were killing us man-to-man. So I don't know, bro. I just chopped this up like, hey, Green Bay won. We got to move on to Minnesota and the Giants. We have 3 games in 12 days. We can't sit here and dwell on one game. We got to move on. Season be over before you know we be in that fourth quarter, and that's when we need to get right. That's when we need to start getting right, making sure that we have momentum going into the playoffs.
Yeah. December is the time that you should be saying, if we're looking bad in December, then I start panicking. That's when I'm not even going to use the word panicking. If we're not playing solid ball the last 3 games of the season, that's when I'm like, yeah, this is not it. I mean, look at how we were last year towards the middle to the end of the season. And that's why everybody said that San Francisco was going to beat us, because we didn't look like a team that we were winning some games, but we were winning, not a playoff caliber team. I think that we have some injuries. I don't think that we're as physical as we were at the beginning of the year. I mean, I think that DeMarcus Lawrence is playing lights out right now.
Balling. He's balling.
He's playing. He might not be getting the notoriety that Parsons is getting, but he is balling. That offensive line in the run game, I think that they are doing a hell of a job without Smith and Peters.
Peters didn't even play that game, I don't think.
Right.
I saw him more than anything. I don't even think he got in the game.
Yeah. So we
got. I was about to ask about that. Why he was dressed, but he never did go in the game, and McGovern had a costly penalty.
I don't know about that penalty too. That penalty was woo.
I mean, it might have not been a penalty based on us, but he got it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't understand, like, because we have seen when Peters is in the game, the holes he make. For the running backs. So I don't know. It's just I was trying to dig that up to see if it was something going on with him. An injury, a closed injury that they not saying yet, something about. But why would you have him fully dressed and don't play him? I just didn't get that.
Well, hopefully we're saving him, and and Tyron Smith when he comes back for the playoffs. I have the ultimate faith that we're going to make the playoffs, and I have the ultimate faith that we're at least going to win the first round. And I told somebody today in one of the groups that I shared this post with, I said, our show with, I said, you want to make a wager that we're going to leapfrog one of the 2 teams above us? I wouldn't be surprised if we leapfrog Philly or the Giants by the time this is all said and done.
We play the Giants on Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to that one. You don't understand. I'm looking forward to it.
I just want to be able to eat. I want to be able to eat my sweet potato pie on Thanksgiving. I don't want to do like I did last year. I had 1 plate and about 5 shots of Hennessy because that game made me that doggone upset that I didn't even want another plate, and I did not eat my sweet potato pie.
Mm.
I can't ever eat before a game on Sundays. I can't. I just don't. I don't eat until after the
Really?
game.
No, I have to eat. I'm eating regardless. I have to eat. I have to eat.
I don't know. It's just something about I can't do it unless it's a night game. Now if it's an early game, 12 o'clock game, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I can't.
No, listen, the Cowboys have to win. It's bragging rights for me when I walk in these barbershops and I'm talking to my friends from New York, Jersey. It's bragging rights for me. The Cowboys better come correct because even my director, we on a conference call Monday, he chirping. Oh, you guys lost. We won. Oh, it's on things. You don't understand. There's so many Giant fans and Eagle fans where I live. It's just the fact that sometimes it gets a little personal, but it's all in fun. But we have to beat the Giants on Thanksgiving. You don't understand. You don't understand. We have to beat them. Not just for bragging rights, but because of standings as well and playoff seedings and whatever. We have to beat the Giants. And we have to beat the Eagles. We have to beat the Giants. We have to beat the Redskins as well. The Redskins are actually playing pretty good. The
Yeah,
AFC
they
they're
are,
playing pretty
and they
good.
actually playing
Yeah.
better with Heineken than they are with our Wentz. And I heard today on the show that the team was because I think Wentz is due to come back next week, and they were saying that some of the players were saying that they didn't want to play with. They don't want to play with Wentz. They don't want him to come back. They don't want to play with him. But I think for me last night, even with the Commanders, or more than them just beating Philly, I think it was a little bit emotional. I got a little bit emotional too when they were in the locker room because I didn't know that Ron Rivera had was it his mom or his dad
Mother,
had passed. So it was kind of like a win for him. A win for what he had been going through. And when he got so emotional in his locker
oh,
room speech, I was like,
why did you post that? Why did you post that? Why did you post that, Miss Lee? Why did you do it?
I don't know why Ms. Lee posted that, but let me be the first to say no.
If it's
Um,
$200 a year, $20 million a year, I love you, Odell. Everybody knows I want him here, but we can't afford him. We can't afford him. I'm gonna keep it 100. I would love him, but for $20 million a year, we can't afford him. We can't.
yeah, well, that's what they said today. He wanted $20 million,
We
and
can't.
Jerry basically but said it today. Actually on the news at 6 o'clock, he basically said it. He was like, "No, we're gonna go another route." Now Jerry known a lie, so he don't tell you
Yeah,
everything.
my thing though is, and I hate to bring this name up. I hate to bring this name up though.
What's
If
that?
you pay Odell 20 million, you should have kept Cooper.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
said that too.
Period.
most definitely,
Period. Period. Period.
most
I
definitely.
I think that we haven't coached up that all the young talent at receivers that we brought in. I just think that's been our issue. We haven't coached those guys up. So
The only one that got coached up is CeeDee Lamb. He may be the only one. Noah, Gallup. I know is still hurt. Gallup is still hurt, but we do need another wide receiver though.
yeah,
We do because if CeeDee Lamb,
They gave y'all one.
who I know who Callaway.
Yeah, they gave y'all one.
Yeah, but he's on the practice squad right now. Callaway is very explosive. You just have to clean up his off the field. See, he has
and,
off the field issues. He just has to clean up, but he's explosive. That I'll
and
tell you.
Washington to be back next week.
I'm not gonna say
December
anything.
4th.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
Y'all know how I feel about Washington. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything about him, but I don't know if that's gonna be a benefit to us. We're gonna see. Because I'm telling you, if Callaway can clean up his off the field antics, I'm telling you, he's a 4'4" guy. He's 5'11", 202 pounds. He's thick. He was explosive. He was explosive for the Browns until they revamped their wide receiver core. But hey, we're trying to find that diamond in the rough right now because we need it. I was hoping that my man Simi Fehoko would come back and do something, but he's on IR because he's 6'4". He run the 40 and 4.3. That never really had a wide receiver that's 6'4". So all those high balls that he can throw right to Fehoko, that would be great. But he's not on the field, and Toba's not ready yet. He had a coffee
I don't
He's
know
not
what's
ready
going on with Tober. Like he just being very slow with developing.
I don't know. But he's just a rookie. Sometimes it takes rookies longer than others. So he's a rookie still.
What's wrong with Simi?
Simmy's out with a shoulder
Yeah.
injury. He's on IR. He was playing hurt, and then the last game he just said, "Nah, I can't go anymore." So he's out. That's why Washington, when Washington comes back, if Washington produces, I will apologize for everything bad that I said about him. I will. I said I was wrong. But until that time, I'm not saying another word about him. I'm not. I'm just gotta understand what's going on with Gallup, though. Gallup, that concerns me a little bit. He only has 100 yards in 4 games, even though he just came back. 100 yards in 4 games.
I think that we're trying to
concerning.
force CD Lamb. I think we're trying to force the ball to CD Lamb. That's my personal opinion.
Trying to force CD Lamb to be a number one.
Yeah, I've seen a couple players, but I think that, like I said, that we forced the ball to him. And he's a what they call it, high risk, high reward. You know, he's either gonna make a great play for you, or he's gonna make a bonehead play for you. You know, whether it's a drop, whether it's a run the wrong route, whether it's, and you can tell, you can damn near tell by his body language whether he's gonna get the ball or not.
Well,
I really wish people would take the time to watch keys, watch the body language of the players. For anybody who plays sports, anybody who played football, the players actually read other players. They look at offensive, the linebackers and D line look at the fingers of your O line to know whether it's going to be a run or pass. They look at the quarterback and running back's eyes to see if that's why running backs look to both sides of the field now, because they watch the running back's eyes to see if he's going to run right or left. So it's football is just not about handing the ball off and getting first downs or throwing the ball, and it's a lot of reading, it's a lot of anticipation, it's a lot of knowing people's tendencies. And I just think that we got away this past weekend. We got away from the success that we've had over these last few weeks of running the ball. We had a balanced offense. This past week we ran it, what was it, 20 something times, 29 times, and threw it 46 or something like that. I knew it was a big parity, but all the weeks going up before that, it was pretty much 50-50. So
yeah, but I'm gonna go back to that 28-14 score though. If the defense could get the Green Bay Packers off the field on 3rd down, I don't think we're having this discussion right now. You see what happens when you lose? There's certain things that you can pinpoint and you won't blow it out of proportion. But as soon as you lose, it's like, no, I can pinpoint on that, so we blow it out of proportion. And the media blows it out of proportion. So, being up about 14 points, if we would have done some different things on defense, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion right now. We probably would, but it is what it is. Take it with a grain of salt. We got to keep it moving.
I tell you what, though, we're gonna have to be physical. We're gonna have to be physical against the Giants in Philadelphia. These next games we play.
How about Minnesota though? Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Sunday too. I'm watching that Buffalo game again. I'm like, listen, we're gonna have to do something because they're gonna be amped. Too bad they didn't flex that game to be on Sunday night like they did with San Diego or the Chiefs game. They're gonna be amped. Yeah. Byron is right. The defense was tired. The defense was on the field too long. You're right.
But why were they on the field so long?
They couldn't get off.
Exactly, because they were getting gashed by the run game. That's something that I looked at the time of possession, and I want to say, I know the first half they ate up the time of possession. Let me look at the time of possession for this game. I guarantee you they had to have the ball at least 36 to 38 minutes.
Yeah, because we only ran like 14 offensive plays in the fourth quarter. We're going to have 14 offensive plays in the fourth quarter. Defense got tired. And what's the first thing when you get tired? Your tackling starts to be impacted by it. I don't know. Like I said, hey, you have to move on to the next now. We lost. We just got to move on to the next. That's it.
So what games?
Mm-hmm.
What games really, besides the Cowboys games, what games were you really surprised with this week?
It's Buffalo. It has to be the Buffalo game. The Buffalo game, to me, they were handily up, and then Mr. Cook with that 80-yard touchdown. I'm like, uh-oh. You see the momentum switch? Because the game was basically over till that point, and then Josh just started trying to be Superman. Josh tried to do too much. I'm like, dude, you have a team. He just tried to do too much, and it cost him. It really did cost him in the end because that game was over. This is the same argument going back and forth about, Tina, about OBJ and ACL tears, and he's not going to be due back till December. I get it. I understand. But Odell is a different type of wide receiver, though. He's going to command attention, especially defensive coordinator is going to see Odell on the field, and they're going to say, listen, we got to rotate coverage to his side, just like they did with Cooper. That's not happening right now. They're not rotating basically to CeeDee Lamb's side right now. They're playing us straight up. And when Cooper was on the field, they did that. So when Odell comes back, and whoever he signs with, you're going to see Odell do the same thing. They're going to have to actually rotate the coverage to his side, and he opens up the running game. I understand about the 2 ACL tears, but it's just a dimension that Odell would bring to our team if it wasn't for the $20 million a year.
He won't be ready until December anyway, right?
Yeah, but December is like, 2 weeks away. It's not that far away. But I'm just
he
saying,
won't be ready to December anyway. But I'm not paying him $20 million. I don't give a damn.
I love Odell.
I wouldn't. I don't give a damn if they repaired his ACL in front of me. I'm not giving him
I mean, and you know what?
$20 million.
That's another thing that I don't think we mentioned. We did miss Zeke because there's times when we need that tough yard, 2 or 3 yards, and Zeke would give us that. But we didn't have that during this Green Bay game.
And Zeke does so many other things in the game besides just run the ball. He's also a blocker. He's sometimes that security blanket on that blocking side. So he does just so many other things that gets overlooked because everybody focus on the fact that, oh, he's only getting 3-4 yards a carry, or everybody's saying, oh, he run this and then he coming out the game, or he tapping his helmet. But he does so many other things that helps on that side of when he's in the game. And I know Tina said trade Zeke, but Zeke's contract, nobody's gonna trade Zeke. If they get rid of Zeke, that's gonna be an outright cut. And to
why would you trade Zeke anyway? Think about it for me.
Yeah, that's gonna be an outright cut. Nobody's gonna trade for that contract that he have. That's gonna be an outright cut if they get rid of him.
But he means too much to our offense anyway from the trade, because every team needs at least 2 quality running backs. The only team that may not need 2 quality running backs is Tennessee with King Henry. Other than that, most good teams have 2 running backs. Look at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay now has 2 good running backs. And that's the thing. A lot of teams are going to the 2 running back sets now. So you need 2 good running backs. I don't care how much money that Zeke is getting paid. He deserved it. We have Pollard. We have to use both of them in conjunction with each other. I don't understand why we can't use both. You have 2 weapons. Why not use both?
But you're going to pay both. You're going to pay both of them next year. So one of them is gone.
Or
if
Zeke
not both.
Or Zeke may have to take a pay cut to stay. Think about it. I mean, having a 2-headed monster in the NFL nowadays, there's nothing wrong with it. Just somebody's going to have to take a pay cut because these stupid salary caps. I can't stand the salary cap.
What you digging in?
Uh-oh, somebody getting it. Somebody getting it again. Don't be too hard, Nikki. It's okay. Yo. Oh Lord.
So I know we started a little late, but so we'll stay on a little bit longer. Can I toot my horn just a little bit?
Toot your horn, bro. Go ahead. Toot that horn,
A
bro.
little bit. So we had our referee banquet last night, and I've been working hard trying to improve my skills because I don't I'm a little older, so I don't think that I'll do it enough years to where I'll make it to the NFL. But I think that I'm still young enough to where I can probably make it to college level. So I've been really trying to
Good.
hone my crafts. So I went to the banquet yesterday, and I got not one,
Oh, look at this kid. Oh, look
Oh,
at
you
that.
got two.
not two,
Oh,
He got the trifecta. You got the trifecta.
but I got 3
Oh, it's look at
awards.
that.
oh,
That's what's
that's
up, bro.
awesome.
All
You
right.
know, and I got promoted to full-time varsity
Oh,
next
All
year.
right. Look at you, Fox.
that works. That works.
Hey, listen,
Uh,
could you tell the other referees when the Cowboys play to please be light on us, please? Please. And call more penalties on Parsons being held, please. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So a referee's oath is my response to that is who's going to win the game. Uh,
I
we're
knew
there
he was
to
going
do our jobs. We're going to get critiqued off of what we do, not and us as referees. People pay to see us. They come and pay to see the players.
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
with that being said, I will still make sure that we actually one of the guys that called one of our games, he is from my association. He came back to visit us, and he pretty much stated that they have to have zero allegiance. He called the Falcons game a couple of one of the Falcons game, I guess, when they played Carolina. No, it wasn't Carolina.
Whew.
Tampa Bay, when Tampa
Mm.
Bay beat them in the fourth quarter. And those individuals, because they knew him, they actually were sending him death threats to his house.
wow.
So
Hey, he wasn't one of them referees where Mike Evans was like, writing down, "Hey, call me, man, call me." He wasn't one of those, was he?
no, this was a
Okay. Wow. You got to be
let's
careful out here.
let's see
That's
here.
great.
Tina says Zeke is a great blocker. I get it, but he is no longer the high performance player that dictates
No,
that big check. Now, right? Trade or cut
and
him
and,
before the
and that's
offseason.
true. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
I
guys
get
might
it.
not like him. Dak is not consistent enough, and I have very little faith in him. Cooper is certainly not the answer either. We must focus on a quarterback after this season. So I
I
get it.
mean, this draft coming is the quarterback draft, so they may grab a quarterback this draft because this is the quarterback draft that's coming. But Dak is here to 2024, unless he get hurt again and can't play for a whole season or something.
Actually, Dak is going to be here longer than that
But
because of them restructuring his contract. Because
contract,
the last 2 years of his contract, uh, they they were voidable, but they did it so they can move money around to be able to sign other players. So he's already restructured his
structured
contract
contract.
twice. So he's going to be here till 2026 unless they take a cap hit and let him go between those last 2 years.
Between those last 2 years, right?
So
But
Dak
Exactly.
is yeah. So
I don't know about.
Dak is going to be your quarterback at least for the next 4 years unless he gets hurt or his contract is the way it's structured right now. He's going to be your quarterback at least for the next 3 years minimum.
Right.
Listen, that is a top 10 quarterback, right? So I can pinpoint other quarterbacks having different issues. Every quarterback in the NFL is not perfect. Every quarterback in the NFL is going to have their times when they're going to have boo-boo plays, how they're going to have brain farts, how they're going to try to do too much and throw interceptions. But we have a quarterback. Playing quarterback in the NFL and finding a quarterback in the NFL is not a perfect science. There's a lot of teams out here. If that hits the open market, they're going to jump. They're going to jump at him. So we have to be careful saying that, hey, he's inconsistent when there's a lot of other quarterbacks that are inconsistent as well. And there's other teams that would jump at the chance to actually sign this quarterback. And finding the top 10 quarterback in the NFL is not a top is not an exact science. Herbert,
so look at Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo is he's taking his team to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking his team to the NFC championship game.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his job and got it back due to an injury, but the players really wanted him anyway.
Right.
At one time, Jimmy Garoppolo was one of the top 2 or 3 highest paid quarterbacks in the league. So when we talk about the money issue, everybody wants to use the money issue with that. Here's something that a lot of people don't understand. I want you to go look up the top 10 paid quarterbacks in the league. Top 10. And I want you to tell me, out of those top 10, who deserved to get the money that they got. And I can really answer it for you right now if you guys want me to. Well, hell, I will answer it. 3. 3 of the top 10 quarterbacks, top highest paid quarterbacks in the league, deserve the money that they got. 7 of the top 10 quarterbacks right now have losing records. Out of those 7, one of them is not even playing because he's suspended, and he'll be back in a couple of weeks. Out of the other 6, one of them has 0 playoff wins. One of them hasn't even been to the playoffs. So, as K Boogie said earlier, we watch our quarterback every week because that's our quarterback. But if you really think about it, the quarterbacks now are not getting paid off of performance. They're getting paid off of market value, and they're getting paid off of what they mean to the team.
Potential as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look at Justin Herbert. Look at Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was supposed to be a top 5 quarterback, right? What has he done? He hasn't even been in the playoffs, and it's the media. Some of the stuff is media driven. Did y'all watch Justin Herbert play on Sunday against the 49ers? What did he do? See, that's my point about the media and understanding who we have as quarterback. I think that does have some deficiencies, but every other quarterback has deficiencies as well. There's no perfect quarterback. There's not. There's not a perfect quarterback in the NFL. Even Mr. Mahomes, he actually is careless with the ball at times. Josh Allen, A-Rod, Tom Brady. I can go down the line. All these quarterbacks have deficiencies. Nobody's perfect. None. So, I mean, hey, only thing I want Dak to do is tell Kellen Moore and Big Mike, listen, these are the set of plays that I want to run, and I'm comfortable running these plays. And that's the only thing I ask him to do is say, nope, I don't like that play. We're going to run this play, because I've seen other great quarterbacks do that, or other quarterbacks who want to be great do it. That's the only thing I ask for that. Just tell Kellen Moore, these are a set of plays I want to run. These are the ones I feel comfortable with and we're successful, and these are what I want to do. That's it. That's the only thing I ask for him. That's it. And everything else will fall into place. It will. I felt the same way about Romo. The only thing about Romo is his body gave out, and sometimes in those really critical situations, he was careless with the ball. And I mean, I went to bat for Romo. I used to have arguments about Tony Romo in barbershops, at lounges, whatever, talking football. I went to bat for Tony Romo. Like, really did. So this is not about that being a black quarterback. He's a quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. I ride with my quarterbacks of the Dallas Cowboys. That's it. This is not a color issue, right? With me. So Tony Romo. There's been times when we've gotten into some really deep conversations with other Cowboy fans at the time before it was even on social media, whatever, about his inconsistencies. Him trying to do too much at certain times because he's trying to show everybody just because he was an undrafted quarterback that he belonged in the league and because of his contract. So it seems like we're doing the same thing with Dak Prescott again. But this time, no, I'm taking a different approach. I'm like, listen, I'm not arguing with anybody. I'd rather have just intellectual discussions about it and say, listen, Dak does have his deficiencies, just like every other quarterback. We just need him to be more of a leader in the huddle, be more of a leader on the sidelines, telling him what you want to, which plays you want to run, which ones you don't. And that's all I ask for Dak. That's it. But playing quarterback and being a quarterback in the NFL is not a perfect science. It's not. And if you have a top 10 quarterback, you got to ride with him. You can't just throw him out the pasture. You got to ride with him because you don't know what you're getting with some of these rookie quarterbacks coming in. You don't know. The media hypes up so many quarterbacks. A lot of this stuff is media driven. Media driven. They hype you up 1 minute and kick you down the next. You got to understand that.
And they did that to Hurst yesterday. They was like, as good as he's been, he was horrible. He reverting back to the same Hurst that we've been talking about. Will this loss pull him back down? Will this loss pull him down? So I just you're gonna get the most flack though because you're Dallas Cowboys. We play for Dallas Cowboys, the team with the most media. I mean, here's what it is.
Yeah, but you know what, Romo sometimes in the playoffs too, and that year, those 3 years in a row when we was like 8-8 or 7-7, whatever, we was trying to get into the playoffs, and we lost those 3 years consecutively. That was crazy too. And I mean, I was riding with Romo too. I would ride with Dak the same way. I'm riding with both. I ride with them the same way. You know, I rode with Danny White, Roger Staubach. You know what I'm saying? Those are my quarterbacks. And all those quarterbacks had deficiencies. Even the great Troy Aikman. There was a time when Troy Aikman had to fight for his job because Steve Walsh got drafted in the supplemental draft by Jimmy Johnson, right? And he had to fight for his job. So that's what I'm saying. Playing quarterback in the NFL is not a perfect science. You're going to have your ups and downs.
She said that, correct. There was no perfect quarterback, but for the Dallas Cowboys, a change is needed. I mean, I think a change is needed all the way around at some point. But I'm gonna start with coaching first.
Like we said before, it's not just the coaching; it starts from above, right?
But it starts at the top. It starts at
the
top.
Is Jerry the one to sign the checks, right? So some of this has.
So I'm gonna ask a hypothetical question. This is just hypothetically, and I'm not asking this question to refute what anybody is saying. But what if Dak went on a run like what's
Eli
his name?
Manning?
No, last year's Rams. Stafford. What if Dak went on a run towards the end of the season, and took us to the Super Bowl and won it? Would everybody still want him gone? And that's just a hypothetical question.
Well, winning cures everything for a lot of people and especially the fans. Winning cures that. And let's just say, keep 100. If we win this game Sunday, we would not be having this conversation right now. If defense did not collapse in that fourth quarter and allow 207 yards and the 141 yards and the 3 touchdowns, but most importantly, collapsed in that fourth quarter when we needed them to close the gap, we wouldn't be having this conversation. The 2 interceptions in the first half wouldn't even be a topic. Wouldn't even been a topic anymore. That would have went right out the window because at the end of the day, Dak still came in and he still took the team down the field and scored. He still had the team up 2 touchdowns. But because we took the L, so now everybody's focused it all has refocused and resurfaced again that folks feel like Dak is the problem.
I'm gonna
Dak
ask another.
has
I'm
his
ask. Yeah.
faults,
I'm
but
gonna
he's
ask.
not the whole problem.
Well, let me ask another question. Eli Manning, two-time Super Bowl champion, two-time Super Bowl MVP.
Mm, mm.
How many times? And you live in New York, K Boogie, so you can
Woo!
answer this a whole lot better than I can.
Mm.
How many years was they trying to run Eli Manning out of New York?
They was trying to run him out because he was unsuccessful in the playoffs. They was trying to run him out of here. And I was like so happy, but then the Giants defense carried them to the Super Bowl.
But who got the MVP of the Super Bowls?
Eli Manning.
But who was who actually really won those games for the Giants?
That defense, Strahan and that defense, Tuck and that defense won those Super Bowl games.
So Joe Burrow last year took Cincinnati to the Super
To the
Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Who why did they go to the Super Bowl in the playoffs
that
The
defense.
defense.
and the running game?
Mm-hmm.
When they
Hmm.
came out against Kansas City in that second half, they
They
ran the
ran the
ball.
ball. Hmm.
Matthew Stafford, if you go through the playoffs, how did he look in the playoffs last year?
He's all right, but Odell helped him out a lot, though. Sorry.
Yeah, but when did they start? When they had that game against San Francisco? What won them the game in San Francisco
That
against
defense
San
stepped
Francisco
up, the defense, and they started running the ball.
and started running the ball? So the quarterback, let's see, that would be awesome. Winning cures everything. I agree. My position regarding Dak and Zeke does not have anything to do with the Green Bay game. That's just been my position for a few years. They both have declined greatly. Um, I'm gonna have to disagree with the Dak decline. Um, because every year except for the 2 years that he's been injured, Dak's stats have been going up and up and up.
Yeah.
If you just go by stats, just by stats only, his stats was going up and up, and Dak was actually ranked in the top three on completions percentage last year, if I'm not mistaken. It was top five. I definitely know it was top five, but if I want to say it was top three on completion rating, completion percentage, and he was also in the top 7 or 8 on pass yards per play. So I have to disagree with his play going down. I would agree that Zeke's play went down, but Zeke is so much more valuable in the passing game than Pollard was. And I think that has taken a toll on Zeke's body more so than him taking a pounding running the ball.
Yeah, and Zeke's been playing hurt too. His knees been giving out the last couple of years too. So Zeke's been playing
Yeah.
hurt. And he's a team player, so there's other intangibles that Zeke will give us. It doesn't always have to be production. There's other intangibles that he gives us, especially his leadership and being able to pass block on second and third downs is really, really important.
Yeah. So, I get, this is Dak's 7th year now in the league. Um, I get some of our fans' concerns that maybe we need a change and so forth and so on.
Hmm.
I think that he's still young and he's got some more growing to do. Everybody's not going to be, Mahomes is a
Mahomes,
product. Mahomes is a product of
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid more so than Andy Reid being a product of
Of
Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Hmm?
Yeah. And that's exactly the point that we're trying to make. I'm trying to make, at least, Cynthia, that personal stats does not equal team success. It starts with the QB. Running back chef lifespan is not long. Zeke's time is coming to an end.
Right. We agree with
We are,
that.
yeah, we definitely agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, quarterback. Quarterback. Running back time span is 5 years.
Yeah.
5, 6, right at 5, 6 years. That's their span. So we are coming up on that span for Zeke. You
Yeah.
know, um, and again, we all know that we sit here and we say it weekly. You know, it's it's some things that I want to see Dak do differently. It's some things I want to see better um from him. But in actuality, it's just not no quarterbacks out there. You can move on, but who are you moving on to? Who are you
Mm.
moving on with? Even if you draft another quarterback to come in, it's still going to be trials and tribulations with that new quarterback. So, I mean, unless you're gonna bring in, and unless you know offhand that you're bringing in a Tom Brady, or you know offhand you're bringing in another Aaron Rodgers, it's the facts are there's no quarterbacks out there that you can just actually sit up here and say, I want to move on, and I'm happy, and I know I can move on from Dak Prescott at this very moment. Even next year, I can move on. This the draft coming up is going to be the quarterback draft. Yeah, it's going to be talented quarterbacks coming up in this draft, but they're not going to be ready unless they just have. I mean, then you can put them out there, but then you're going to get a case of old boy in um Pittsburgh. You're gonna get a case of old boy in Tennessee
Jacksonville too.
and
Jet,
Jack. I mean,
Jets.
Jets. You can put them out there, and let's be real. The Jets is winning, but the Jets not winning because of Wilson. They winning because of their defense
And the running game.
and the running game.
And let's go back to the two young guns that that everybody was taunting from last year, Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow.
Mm.
What are they? Aren't they struggling a little bit this year?
Especially
Yeah,
Herbert. Especially
No,
Herbert.
he's
and
definitely struggling.
Aaron Rodgers is not a free agent.
No,
He is.
he's trying to
No,
be a deal, so don't know.
Yeah,
nope, nope, nope,
he's in
nope.
the same situation as Dak. He has a
Yep,
contract that's,
and he's making more money than that.
yeah, he's probably going to, if the only way that Green Bay can get out of that contract is Aaron Rodgers is gonna have to retire.
Yep, that's it.
He got guaranteed money, you know.
All guaranteed.
Yeah.
No.
All guaranteed. But
Listen, we can have Derek Carr as a quarterback. That's what I'm saying. We can have Derek
So
Carr as a quarterback.
Lamar Jackson is, and he's
he'll be a free agent next year, but he's
He's
staying. Yeah,
yeah,
they're gonna end up coming up with a deal for him. They're
and
gonna pay
even yeah,
more. They're gonna pay more than what they probably wanted to pay, but he's not going anywhere.
Nah, he's not
yeah,
going.
and his style, it's his style of being a quarterback in the NFL is very unlikely unless you have the stoutest defense in the world that he will win the Super Bowl.
Mm.
And I'm just being 100% honest with that. Not that I'm hating on the young man because he's an exceptional talent. He's an MVP candidate every year. But if you can find a way to make him sit in a pocket, he's going to he's not the most accurate passer out there. Now I've seen him make some hell of a fire throws to his tight end, but he's not very accurate going to his receivers. That's why Baltimore hasn't picked up any receivers because they run the ball and throw the ball to the tight end. But I get a young man credit. Baltimore they're going to be out of a lot of money next year. A lot of money.
Being stubborn.
I mean, let's put this question out here. If you had one quarterback, let's say that Jerry said, you know what, Dak, I'm gonna put Dak on the trade market, and you were the GM. What quarterback would you bring in that you think that would do better for us? And let me take a couple of names out of this equation.
Let's see.
Let's take Mahomes out. And I think that's probably the only one I would take out.
All right. I got my quarterback then, because you ain't take my quarterback out. Deshaun Watson. I think he's a better natural thrower than that. I mean, I watched him at Clemson. I watched him a little bit in high school on tapes, but Deshaun Watson is a natural thrower. The only thing with Deshaun Watson is that he's just really frail. But he's a great passer. He's accurate. So if there was one quarterback, if that decision was made, besides all the off the field stuff, Deshaun Watson in my book.
I think that Cowboys Nation is 50-50 on that, because just for every one person that you say that is frustrated, and no, let me take that back. All the Cowboy Nation is frustrated and sick and tired of not winning.
Yeah, we
I
all are. We are.
yeah,
But Foxy,
everybody.
you should ask the question: How many fans have actually watched us win championships? That's another thing that could be actually compounding on the frustration, because I've seen 4 championships. Maybe that's why I'm optimistic more than anything else. I've seen 4. So I've seen us win in our glory days. Maybe the new fans haven't. I don't know.
I've seen, and I know I was real young when I seen my first Super Bowl, but I've seen. We went to what, 9 Super Bowls?
I think it was we went to 8.
8. We went to 8 Super Bowls,
I've seen a lot of them.
and I've seen 7 of the 8.
Yeah, I have too. So I mean, maybe it's the newer fans that
Yeah,
maybe
we got spoiled. Yeah, we got spoiled in the 70s and 90s. We got
That-
spoiled in those 2 decades. If you were born in the 60s and you've been watching the Cowboys your whole life, you are a spoiled Cowboys fan.
Exactly. Yeah. We have spoiled. We spoiled. We know
We were
greatness when
spoiled.
we see it. We know greatness from the Drew Pearsons, Tony Hills, to Roger Staubach, Danny White, Billy Joe Dupree, Danny White, Preston Pearson. Yo, it goes on and on. Michael Irvin.
The great
You know,
great
Tommy Holliday.
Cowboys Steelers battles, the
Yes.
great Cowboys 49ers battles, the great Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills going to back-to-back Super Bowls.
49ers, all that.
The great Cowboys, Eagles and the Cowboys and Redskin rivalry. That was the rivalry.
That was
Everybody
it back
really,
then,
yeah,
baby.
everybody thinks that the Eagles is no,
It's the Redskins.
Redskins was our biggest rival. So I just think that Cowboys fans, we've been spoiled, and we want that. I want to see us. I want to see a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If we win a Super Bowl, I will probably damn near run out in the streets in my boxers because I'm gonna be so happy.
I
But
told you we going to Magic City. I told you that. We going to Magic City. I told you we Cowboys win the Super Bowl. We all going to Magic City. I told you that. But that's it. Kelly, we coming down to ATL, Charlotte.
While I say you and Kelly, y'all'll be there. Shit, we win a Super Bowl. I'm gonna be somewhere else.
We going there.
So Tina says Romo often changed the play. Brady most certainly changes them. Does Dak have the authority to do so? So if he does not, so we talked about that a little bit earlier, Tina. You probably wasn't on here when we said that. There was a report that came out that said fans were upset because there was a report that came out and said that Dak was changing a lot of the plays. The problem with that was we were running the same route combinations. And there was more than one team that last year that came out and said that we knew what they were going to do because it's obvious what they were doing. So Dak has had the option. They said that Dak has the option to go out there. And as a matter of fact, let's even say that every time Dak says kill,
yep, he's going to another play.
He's changing the play from when you go into the huddle, the NFL quarterbacks, they generally go in there. Most teams go in there and they call 2 plays. So when you hear kill and adjust and Omaha and all those different words, they are generally going from one play to the next play.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We forgot to touch on if it was a good idea if Mike McCarthy should have went for it on 4th down in overtime. And that was a big emphasis of the game too. We forgot to bring that point up.
Yeah, that flipped. It flipped it.
So here's my take on it. Can I go first? I
Yeah.
usually don't go first, but can I
He
go
say
first?
analytics said go for it.
And
And I cannot stand that freaking. I want to not. That's not the word I want to use right now.
I
But
know.
that
Don't
is not the freaking way to do it. You put points on the board. You go to your defense. You look them in the eyes and say, "Finish this game." That's what you do. I played football till I was 42, from the age of 16 till I was 42 years old. And there's not a time that I've ever played that somebody didn't, and you're in kicking range and you're in overtime and you don't take the points. The analytics say go for it. No, the nature of the game is kick the field goal, kick the ball off, and make them go 75 yards to score a touchdown. Because the only thing that, and as much time as we took off the clock, I think that we would probably ended up in a tie.
you right. I
That's
said the same
that's
thing.
my thought.
I said the same thing because we kept calling all these timeouts at the end of the fourth quarter, right? And I said, you know what? If we get the ball back, we score a field goal, our defense is going to be rested. So I said, take the points. I said, take the points. The defense is rested right now. They should be gun ho. They should be, listen, let's stop A-Rod. Let's stop them. So I said, take the points. But, Big Mike listened to the analytics and being aggressive. The emotions played a part in the game too. Don't forget that.
So when you play Fox, the rules were different. We kicked, we won, not now.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
So, and that's why I hate analytics,
Yeah.
because a coach, you should be able to turn around, and this is for this is for any sports. I'm gonna use today. I had a game today. That's why I couldn't get on here earlier. I had um, two girls' high school flag football games today, and I'm looking at this one young lady on the sideline. I mean, I'm looking at this one young lady, and she was just she's over there telling the coach, "Put me in the game, put me in the game, and we need to run this play, run this play." I'm hearing this in the back of my back of my ear. When she gets on the field, her body language was not. She wasn't into it. So I ended up having to throw a flag on her for a false start. And the coach took her out the game. And in my ear, I'm hearing the coach saying, "You're not your mind is not into this game right now." That's what coaches do. You know, if you look, and analytics should have nothing to do with the pulse of your team.
Mm. Mm. Preach.
Look at look your players in the eyes. Who was that? Lamar Jackson last year. The coach said, "No, we're gonna punt this ball." It was fourth and something. Harbaugh said, "We're gonna punt this ball," and Lamar Jackson went over and said, "No, we're gonna go for it." And he looked in his players' eyes. He went out there and they went for it. Not only did they get that first down, but they went down the field and they scored the winning touchdown. Analytics told Harbaugh to punt the ball. His players and their body language told him, "Nope, we're going to go out here and we're going to win this game." That's what I believe in.
Mm. Well, hey, Big Mike was in the basement 2 years ago doing all that analytic stuff, so you know where that led to. So, I mean, you should have taken the points. You should have taken the points. The defense was well rested. Hey, let's stop A-Rod. They should have had enough pride to be like, listen, we're gonna stop him right now. Whatever happened before, it's not gonna happen now. We're gonna stop him. It was well rested for over 10, 12 minutes already. So when he went for it, I'm like, oh damn, what we gonna do? And so when they were rushing the quarterback and that didn't have anywhere to throw because nobody was open, I was like, damn. I said, damn, game's over. I said, man, we had him. We had him dead to rights. We had him. But don't forget about that CeeDee Lamb non-call either. That was pass interference. They did not call that.
Hold on here. So Tajin, we have not overlooked your comments. It's you responded to some of the stuff that everybody wrote in here.
Yeah, I
So
tried to catch her comment, but she had but Tina's came up before I can get to hers. Roll her back. Don't make
let's
her
see
feel
Don't
here.
like
leave, don't
she.
leave, boo, don't leave. Come
Yeah,
back.
don't make her feel
Leave.
like we ain't trying to
Don't
answer her.
leave.
So let's see. You also need great receivers, not just a quarterback.
Oh, I ain't see that.
Okay.
Oh,
But then
oh,
she said something else too.
Let's see here.
CeeDee
Let me
Lamb
go.
does need help. CeeDee Lamb does need help, and I've been saying that though. He needs some help.
It was something about Dak, she said.
Wait a minute. I seen this one, but I thought I put that one up there. Let's see here.
I didn't see this one.
Oh
Most
no,
fan.
she said I had no problem with that. Um, yeah, I don't put everybody's comments up here. I kind of put um the ones up there just like that, either a question or a discussion. So I'm sorry that if we definitely didn't overlook your comments. I promise you that much. Um, I tend to don't put all of them up there, just for just various reasons. But my bad. No, so don't. I watch First Take like it's the only thing to watch.
So we don't want to not to come back.
First Take is the funniest thing.
No,
Yeah,
I watch tomorrow. I watch First
we're
Take.
we're
I
the
watch
only take.
Get Up.
Yeah, we're the only take.
I like it when Michael Irvin's on the show, Keyshawn's on the show, and Swagoo. I can't stand Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky to me just everything negative about the Cowboys he stands for.
No, he's the
Because his
flavor
wife
of the
is
month.
Philly.
He's a flavor. Yeah, he's the
Oh my
flavor of the
God.
month analyst.
It's
Because
oh
just
my God.
2 weeks ago he was talking about this Cowboys team. If they play like this, yes, they are Super Bowl contenders. And I see nobody beating that defense and blah 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 blah. And then the next week, the sky's falling.
Hey, just like Stephen A. Smith with all that rhetoric, whatever. That's media driven. That's what they get paid to do. They get paid to actually have people watch the show and bring controversy. That's what they do.
She said that's why I'm on here because you guys are talking football. Well, we
We
thank
love,
you. And
appreciate
we
it.
Yeah, we
appreciate it.
definitely appreciate it.
Appreciate
Please don't let this be your last time.
Yeah, we're not about one thing I appreciate about us here is that we don't always agree on
Mm-mm.
on things. And like like Cool said, we have a chat and it goes down in that
It
chat.
goes left.
You gotta be
It,
able to handle that chat, man.
yeah. If you want to
Right.
if you want to talk football 22 out of 24 hours a day, come to Stars Talking Cowboy too. Actually, there's a couple other chats
Ooh,
too.
Lord, there's so
Yeah, but we want the one that we can moderate
Yeah,
is Stars Talking Cowboys chat.
yeah, because that other chat with Leo and Kenneth, boy.
Ooh, them baby running me hot.
When and
I went in on them. I went in on them today.
yeah, you did.
I
I
went
missed
in
that
on them.
part.
Oh, I went in
Oh,
on
she
them
went in on
today. Kendall just be lying a lot though. He just be, and I keep telling Leo, but quit letting Kendall get you riled up because Kendall be coming in there and saying stuff, and it be lies. We all know it be lies, but he really be doing it to get to Leo and get under
I
Leo's
know.
skin. And
yeah.
Leo file for it every day, every day. And I be like, Leo, you know darn well ain't nobody said that. You know McCarthy ain't said that. So why you so mad that Kendall saying he said that? You know McCarthy didn't say that, and Kendall do it on purpose. He do it on purpose, and that's
Yeah,
why sometimes I go and I be like, Kendall, stop lying, quit making stuff up, But I had to go in on Leo today though, because he was doing too much.
yeah, I can imagine. I'm gonna go in there and read that.
You
Yeah,
was in there because you told me you say Nikki say something for the show.
No, I saw one of your comments. I'm like, nigga, just
Oh,
save it for the show, and then I had to get back to what I was doing because
oh
man,
yeah, she
crazy.
used quit line and bandwagon fans, and she went in on. And see me, I'm I'll read it and just read and read. Then when somebody say something stupid, then I'll comment.
That's That's what we gotta have to do,
I'm
boy.
sorry, I didn't mean stupid. I didn't mean that's probably
Boy.
not the right words for me to
Well, that's
use.
what you did today. You popped in for a minute and was like blah 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 blah, and then you was gone. I was like, okay, now I'm left holding the bag. They have to answer all this because they don't popped in and put something in. And now I gotta respond.
Because but see, my response is I respond to what they said, and they don't have a comeback to it. They move on to what's like you said, Leo and
Kenna,
whatever, and
that's who
they
it be. Leo and Kenna.
so that's why I don't say nothing. I don't say anything else. You know,
They crazy. They crazy. Like I told them, they need their own YouTube channel because boy, I don't know. They be going at it.
I love talking football, but I don't like talking to people who is always 100% right. You know.
Mm.
And Tina, we love that I love when you come on here. I love when everybody comes on here.
Yeah.
But when you come in here, you definitely, the you definitely help with the fan engagement. All of you do.
Yeah,
And I want to
Tina
tell
have
you,
good questions.
yeah, and I want to tell you the ladies that come on here, you ladies, y'all be killing it. I know we have some guys like Cooley Cool and Byron and a couple of others that come on here. I don't want to discredit some of these names, but Crystal and Tangela and
Kelly,
Angelina,
Anya,
Kelly,
Crystal,
Kelly,
yeah,
Natalie,
Natalie,
Nat,
y'all
Miss
be
D.
Miss D, y'all be getting it
Alicia.
in, so yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah,
so
Lisa.
We got a lot.
y'all women, y'all be, yeah,
We gotta come correct every week, boy. They be holding us to the
yeah.
fire. We gotta come correct, baby.
My thing is, and what I love about us is that we're not on here for likes, and we're not on here and trying to, we want to be the best that we can possibly be. Don't get us wrong. And we want to make this as big as we can make it. But, we're out here trying to speak the truth, and our opinions is just what that is. It's our opinions. If you have an opinion about something and we disagree with it, it's not our place to tell you that you're wrong, because everybody has an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody in the world had a black car, then how would the world look?
Simple.
Yeah. So
It's all good. Bring the energy and the intellect. That's all it is. Bring the energy, intellect. We have a good time. That's it.
well, y'all know
Yeah,
what?
it's all about fun.
It's way past my old man time tonight.
Right, right. It's 10:43. It's almost 11 o'clock. I just for you, but for both of you, both of you
Nah,
guys.
hey, listen, I'm working remote, so I'm good. I'm good right now.
I can't stand y'all remoters.
Oh
Thank
yeah.
you. Appreciate you.
We appreciate that compliment.
I work remote, so
Yep, I'm remote as well.
I know one thing. I'm looking forward to this Minnesota game at 4:30 on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's a 3:25 game, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, well, for us
4:35
it's
for y'all.
4:20. So, in my opinion, I think that we're going to play a whole lot better than what we played on defensively. I think we're going to play a whole lot better
Right.
than what we played on Sunday.
Just gotta watch out for that JJ. You just gotta watch out for JJ. Baby.
Oh yeah, Justin. Give me
and Cook.
this phone.
JJ and Cook.
Yeah.
And the new tight end that they have too. So they have more weapons to me than Green Bay, and they're better defensive team than Green Bay, and they're more balanced. So.
Yeah, but when Buffalo was physical with them, Buffalo was up. They had them by 17 points.
You better remote.
We just got to be physical for them. We'll be physical against them. I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to this game because I definitely don't think that. I definitely think that it's a road game, and we do pretty well in Minnesota.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. We just got to pressure Cousins. I mean, like I stated before.
Yeah, you can put a lot of pressure on Cousins. You can force him into a couple of turnovers. You can force him to get get frustrated. We just have to bring the defense that we've been bringing prior to Sunday against Green Bay. I hope Dan Quinn is making the right, looking at. I hope he look at the film and he's seeing where he went wrong at, what things didn't go pan out at. They say Anthony Brown will be back. Possibly he will be back on Sunday. Um, so there you have it. I mean, that's a for sure 2 touchdowns at least, or
Yeah, you got to understand.
at least a couple of first downs all game.
I think so. Don't forget about if Parsons gonna play D end, keep him there. If you're gonna play linebacker, keep him there. So we got to understand what we're gonna do with Parsons, because Parsons is our best defensive player.
Right.
So
I'll be in Jacksonville, Tina.
So
I plan on being there too.
Y'all have fun. I wish I could travel right now, but I cannot do it. So y'all have fun for me. Y'all have fun for me. But like I said, we need to understand what is Parsons. Is he a linebacker? Is he a hybrid? Or is he a defensive end? Because teams are running at him. They're not afraid to run at him. So
Well, it looks like he didn't want to be a linebacker Sunday at all.
He's hurt.
But he's hurt. You
Yeah,
know, ankle and groin. He's hurt. I think once we get him back 100%, we'll possibly see that different. But that's what other players have to step up at. And that's where your coaching comes in at. You have to be able to know the players on your team that can fill in and step in and do the things you need done on the field. We went out and got all these defensive tackles and defensive ends and all this, but we didn't get no run stoppers. We still didn't get none. What's his name in the game?
Yeah,
the one we got from the Raiders.
Yeah, played, but they're running on the edges too, because we're running the 4-2-5.
Right.
So they're not running in the middle; they're running on the edges, and so that's why hopefully Barr can come back and give us some type of stability. But the only thing is Barr's a liability in the pass game. So it's either you're gonna actually have players out there for the run game or the pass game.
Well, I don't think Barr's gonna be back Sunday. I think he wanted to be back Sunday, and basically because he wanted to play against Minnesota. But I don't know if he'll be back on Sunday.
So Clark's gonna have to play more. We need his speed. We need Clark's speed. I understand what he went through to get on the field, but we need his speed. We're gonna need his speed right now. We're gonna have to, because Parsons is not 100%. We don't know if Parsons is gonna run the passer or play linebacker, so we don't know. So we're gonna need another linebacker this weekend. We're gonna need it because Cook is a dynamic running back as well. And then his backup is not too shabby either.
Yeah.
So they have a two-headed monster. So I mean, we're gonna need some reinforcements in linebacker, because I mean Wilson is good, but Wilson's also light. So if he runs up against a guard or a center, it's lights out for him. He can't take on the impact. So that's why hopefully Barr can play on Sunday. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers. So,
all right. Well, it looks like we have something to look forward to on Sunday.
Yeah, we gotta stop that cat number 18, Mr. JJ.
All right.
Gotta stop JJ.
Well, once again, it's been
my LSU boy.
Oh, don't start with me with that LSU stuff.
That's my LSU boy. That's my LSU boy right there.
I know. I seen him. I seen enough of him too versus Bama. I know. I seen enough of all them LSU boys.
Are y'all going? Are y'all gonna make it into the playoffs?
You know we not.
I was just asking.
You know Bama's not. We lost those 2 close games, so we're not.
But y'all beat Ole Miss, right?
Yeah, we beat Ole Miss, but still though, it's gonna be Tennessee, Georgia, and LSU. One of those 3 teams, or 2 of those 3 teams.
Two of those 3 teams, and then you're gonna have Ohio State and Michigan, and then you're gonna have, if TCU went out, then TCU. Yeah. If TCU doesn't win out, then you're probably gonna have
USC. Don't forget about USC.
Yeah, you're gonna have another 1-loss team from the West Coast probably, but you're probably gonna have 2 SEC teams, unless if there's any change, if there's no major changes in the polls, it's gonna be probably Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah, Tennessee's got a good team too. Tennessee's got a good team. Good offensive team, defensive team, and Georgia's just – I want to see Georgia and Ohio State in the championship game.
Well, if Tennessee loses to Georgia, then it's probably going to be – yeah, because Michigan and Ohio State, they're gonna cross themselves out.
Ohio State's going to beat Michigan.
Yeah.
They playing Ohio State this year too. So I think Ohio State got something to prove since they lost last year. So let's see. See, we like college football too, baby. I'll be scouting. Cowboys need some wide receivers, and some linebackers. Oh, hey, I'm scouting. Roll Tide.
All right,
That's
then.
That's right. Roll Tide. Roll Tide all day, every day.
All right. Closing comments.
Hey, just look forward to Sunday. We gotta come with it. We gotta play. We gotta show up. Gotta play ball. You gotta win those games on the road. You gotta win those. You gotta beat those good teams. Period. I don't want to have to come back and sit there and have this conversation again next week.
Oh man.
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a nail biter. But I think this loss put a bad taste in a lot of the players' mouth. And you heard Parsons and Dak put it on the players.
Shows it too.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that they will pull it out. And it's Minnesota is due a loss. It's time for them to lose too. So
yeah, as long as we play together and there's no communication issues between CeeDee Lamb, we should be able to pull this game out. As long as we control the clock too. We can't have Minnesota controlling the clock. They're playing at home, so we have to control the clock. We have to be more balanced on offense. So, hey, I'm looking forward to a very exciting game and a pleasingly win for the Cowboys at the end of the day. So then we can focus on the Giants for Thanksgiving, because we don't want to go into Thanksgiving losing 2 in a row. We don't want to do that. We want to focus on basically beating the Vikings and then come back Thursday, have some good Thanksgiving dinner, and beat the Giants. So that's what I'm looking forward to on Sunday. Just communicate on the back end. Hopefully, basically, Hooker can have a better game because he did struggle in coverage on the deep end versus Green Bay. So we're going to really need Hooker to step up because JJ is going to be a problem. JJ is a problem. I don't care if my man Diggs is covering him because Diggs only had one ball thrown to him all Sunday. One ball thrown to his side. Everything else is to the other side. So I don't know if he's going to match up against.
JJ. We don't want to bring up the corners. We don't want to bring up. We don't want to bring up no ABCs.
But I'm gonna be honest too. Boss man has to step up now too. It's his time. It's his time right now. It's Boss man's time right now. You have the speed. You have the athleticism. It's your time. It's your time. It's just your time. I just want Boss man to get on the field, wipe out all the noise, and play up to his level. Because Boss man has a lot of talent, man, and we're gonna need him. We're gonna need him and Bland to step up right now.
Yeah, but he makes those bonehead, stupid mistakes.
He does that a lot on special teams. He does that a lot on special teams, I know. But we're going to need him. We're going to need him, and we're going to need Bland. Bland's just got to shake it off, say, yeah, I didn't have my best game. He's going to have to step up. Hooker's going to have to step up, and Boss man. So if they step up, we should be okay against Minnesota. And, hey, let's go. And then off to the Giants. That Giant game means a lot to me. It means a lot, especially bragging rights here in New York, New Jersey.
Well, that's what's up.
That's what's up. That's right.
All right.
All right.
This has been Stars Talking Cowboys, the podcast, with your hosts, Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki. Be sure to check us out every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 Central. Also, hit us up on your favorite social media platform. Follow, rate, review, and subscribe.
I hear you, Kelly.
I have to send y'all the updated one that he did do the voice thing. He did do it for the Tuesday.
Okay, please.
I need to send it to y'all.
Please send it to me.
Yeah, so we can update it.
All right. Well, I will see you guys in the chat, and we'll see everybody next week.
All right. Have a
Good
good
night.
Good night.
Go Cowboys.
All right.